It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Mother effing melts.
You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
You know, mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
let me out of my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye. Boom.
You got to run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we just secured the bag.
But, like, you got to promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be like my favorite movie. Lifetime. It's so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
To keep themselves safe.
Popping bottles in the club, like Zack Ryder. When we drink, we do it right. And all-nighter, sipping protein in my ride. Like metrics. Now I'm feeling so zacked like a Z6. I'm not afraid to get real tan. Everybody knows I'm the man. Woo, 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 woo. Just riding rough. Woo, 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 woo. Riding rough. If you want Long Island icy, baby, there's a price to pay. I'm a broski in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way. So I pop my collar up, they're playing my song. I'm Zach that ain't alive. Pumping my fist like woo, blowing a kiss like woo. I pop my collar up, they're playing my song. Look at my sick try. Woo, 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 you know it. It's a party in the L.I. Woo, 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 you know it. It's a party in the L.
Yeah. It's B3CCA. It's Becca, bitch. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. Beating all these bitches and your dad is calling me his bae. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. Beating all these bitches and your dad is calling me his bae. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. She just likes to dance. I don't think that she can fight me. Get my heart rate up. I do that with your mom nightly. Sorry that I'm winning. I can beat your ass politely. Landing in LA and all the people say B3CCA is the champion of AFA. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. Beating all these bitches and your dad is calling me his bae. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. You don't know what I got. You don't know how to be this hot. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. Beating all these bitches and your dad is calling me his bae. B3CCA is the champion of AFA. You don't know what I got. You don't know how to be this hot. She just likes to dance. I don't think that she can fight me. Get my heart rate up. I do that with your mom nightly. Sorry that I'm winning. I can beat your ass politely. Landing in LA and all the people say.
Hey, good night.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. It is a Friday night. Friday night's all right to fight. And we're here. I'm Phil S. Marks. And we are here today for PWT Friday night Friday night special here. And yeah, I got some grass to touch tomorrow. I got some shit to do. So I was like, I'll go live tonight instead of doing like a day show tomorrow or whatever. I got shit to do all day tomorrow too, actually. So I wouldn't have even worked out. And I was considering maybe Sunday. And I was like, you know what? We don't ever watch SmackDown together on Member Mondays. If you guys are a member, maybe you've been gifted a membership. You know, your boy Phil Marks watches Raw with you guys most Member Mondays. Sometimes I try and switch it up, though. You can't just watch Raw every single fucking time, right? But we watch Raw quite a bit. And, we watch Dynamite every Wednesday, and that's blah. I'll throw Collision on in the background Saturdays, or we do PLE watch-alongs and that. But we don't ever watch SmackDown. So I was like, I'm going to go live tonight, Friday, and nobody's going to tune in, and that's fine. We're going to, no, I see chat moving. What's up, chat? Vote in the poll over at youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Were you worked by the MJF OTC t-shirt? Did you believe it when you saw it in the IWC? Don't lie. Be honest. Yes, no, or didn't see it at all. Don't know what you're talking about, Phil. Guys, hit retweet, heart, all this stuff. Share the show around. Tell a friend. Let's blow this thing up, okay? We need Tatum Paxley playing the Meltzer flute as well. We need her doing the Harry Potter theme, okay? Don't phrase it as Pro Wrestle Times or, do this to Felt Dave Meltzer. Just get her to play the Harry Potter flute on her Instagram, okay, chat? That's our mission right now. But other than that, it's just share the show around, okay? That's what you guys can do. You can super chat in, become a member, gift a membership, patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times for bonus episodes of Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week and early access to stuff and the member shows and a bunch of other stuff, okay? A bunch of other content that's over there. That's exclusive to Patreon, okay? That's how you support this shit. And I appreciate you guys so much for being here this evening. So round of applause to the PWT universe. We got some stuff to get to. WWE SmackDown is live. We're going to check that out in like 20 minutes. MJF fake OTC shirt exposed, and Matt Hardy versus Dirt Sheet fails. Now, this is a segment that, again, you guys know this show, everything in pro wrestling in this show, we try to chronicle everything. We cover so much. We cover the widest variety of pro wrestling stuff. From the darkest to the brightest to the funniest to the cringiest and everything in between, everything that's important, a bunch of shit that ain't important. And, you know, I started doing a segment called Dirt Sheet Fails. And since I started doing that segment, there's been something from like a few months ago I've wanted to cover for a while. And it's when Matt Hardy went to war with, I want to say, a Fightful journalist. Maybe, was it Fightful? I completely forget, but we're going to cover it tonight. So it's really funny. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about TNA a little bit, what's going on there. Jeff Hardy versus Nick Nemeth. There's indie wrestling news. There's, oh my gosh, so much to get to. And we're going to watch SmackDown at the same time and call the action. Okay, guys? So we have a jam-packed night. So chat, what up? I just see CM saying, you asked if we've seen AEW merch. I ask, is there such a thing as AEW merch? Whoa. Oh, starting off vicious already. So you guys can see with SmackDown what's on the docket. And we got a United States title match here. Baron Corbin taking on Carmelo Hayes. Here's the thing, though. Yeah, because this is this week, right? This has to be. Let me just look. August 13, yeah. This was posted yesterday. So Corbin's still carrying around the furry title, and I guess he's defending against Hayes there. But I thought I saw something that he was rematching Trick, but maybe someone was just talking shit, or I misread, whatever. I was just scrolling, you know. Tiffy versus Jane for the United States title. You have tag team warfare. Haku is apparently there. They just rolled out Haku merch as well. And the Tongans, and I don't know what this is. Is this like a three-way match or whatever the fuck? And Orton versus Rhodes obviously are going to be on the show. Who knows if they're fighting each other or facing off or whatever the fuck. And then, of course, Owens and Punk, all the drama there. SmackDown's been definitely heating up as a show. And Raw's been doing really good as well. And I know a lot of people try and sour on a lot of the stuff going on in WWE. Sorry, I'm just grabbing something. There we go. I'm here. I didn't mute. I promise. I just had to get up and grab something. So a lot of people have been sour on the WWE product as of late this year, whatever, but it's really starting to heat up and pick up in NXT, especially. NXT is really fucking awesome. And also, like, Joe Gacy revealed that the Wide Six idea was Shawn Michaels' idea or whatever. And I didn't bookmark all the Joe Gacy stuff, so I just thought I'd mention that in passing. So yeah, should be a jam-packed SmackDown this evening, which should be awesome. So guys, let's get into, we are going to start with just in general WWE news. And typically we save it for a bit later, but not today. Nay. It is time for Worldwide Wrestling Federation. So tonight we are watching Smacketh Down. But over on Evolve, Ulka Sasaki made his entrance, and he is there on Evolve. Let's take a look.
Battle with Timothy Thatcher on Evolve, and let me tell you something. That was something to remember.
An instant classic indeed.
Hail made in Ulka!
And Rob, speaking of opponents that Charlie Dempsey is very familiar with, wrestling. No,
yeah, these two have been.
So how long until we get a Naito crossover? I want to see at Worlds Collide Naito take on someone from NXT or someone from fucking Raw or SmackDown. That would be awesome. I've always wanted to see a guy like Randy Orton face like an Okada, or like I've wanted this for, you know, a decade at this point. I've wanted to see Orton take on like a Naito or a Tanahashi or like an Okada or a, you know, one of these New Japan guys who, you know, talk. I mean, Evil's cool and shit. That could happen. We could see Evil versus Orton. So I might get my dream. Right. I have a dream. What's your dream? To have a dream. And so CM Punk has been officially confirmed for AAA WWE NXT Worlds Collide in Chicago. And it's on the same day and the same city as All Out. And it's Punk's hometown. And you know he wants to go and felt AEW, no doubt. Remember when the Bucks took the victory lap in the empty building that were booing them? In the 2/3 empty building in Chicago, booing them, and they did a lap with their arms in the air. Now, you have guys like Brian Alvarez, right? And he's like, and what was he saying? He was like, I saw this clip today while I was scrolling Twitter. He's like, oh yeah, the tickets aren't flying off the shelves. Punk ain't really moving them like they were before. And it's like, what compared to what? Their live events are outdrawing AEW's last pay-per-view. When are we talking about? 20 years ago WWE? 10 years ago WWE? 2 months ago? A year ago? Like, what are you talking about? They're doing 7,000 people for live events, 7,000 plus. I'm sorry, but that's nothing to if I'm supposed to sit there and go, man, you know, AEW did 10,000 for this, for one of their pay-per-views, and I'm, you know, Redemption went down. Did they even do 7,000 people? And I'm supposed to go, no, man, it's a challenger, and like, it's all good, and like, man, it's hotter than ever, and like, what are we talking about here? So, yeah, I'm gonna be seeing Punk during the summer tour here myself personally. So go and check it out, guys. I'm not gonna read all the places, but you know, going through Canada, you see here a bunch of Canada shows. They go to Mexico, Guadalajara, Monterrey, Mexico City. Those shows are gonna be insane. One SmackDown there. There's also a Raw. Like, these are just Punk's dates. So there's also a Raw in Mexico, which is going to go crazy. Then they're back in then they're just all over. Worlds Collide in Chicago. Obviously, you're going to have Punker come out. And yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this Worlds Collide show. Obviously, we'll do a watch along of both of those shows here at PWT. We'll do Worlds Collide and All Out, I think it is. And Worlds Collide is going to outdraw like all of AEW. So again, everybody just coping. It's NXT and AAA, and then like a couple, like Punk will be there. A couple guys will show up from the main roster, and they're going to outdraw All Out, which at one point was All In for AEW. AEW is very TNA in that they jumped around, like, you know, for a lot of people considered Slammiversary like TNA's biggest show, but then Bound for Glory, TNA really made an effort to make that their biggest show, like their WrestleMania, you know? So WWE, like WrestleMania is WrestleMania, SummerSlam. With AEW, you have, you know, you had All Out, and then they got the rights to All In. So then All In's their big show, but it's mostly always international, and domestically, it's the same as any other fucking show. Right. And then you have Double or Nothing, which some people consider their Mania / SummerSlam type show. So it's unfortunate for them in that regard that All Out is like a throwaway. Then Tone just treated it like a throwaway 1 week after All In. I'm going to book guys who weren't on the last pay-per-view. Just like a throwaway fucking show. So it's crazy, man. And it's crazy how the whole counter programming cope is still going on, but you got all these same people going, Tone should run a show WrestleMania weekend. And during WrestleMania week, they should run a show to counteract WWE. So again, it's all good one way, never the other way. You got Brian crying about ticket sales. They're doing 7,000 tickets, Brian. They're doing 700 times the people who bought tickets to your WrestleMania hangout in Las Vegas, Bri. Like, calm down. Just settle down. We know you got your girl took or whatever, and it upsets you. But speaking of being upset, man, the Amazing Red alleges that this is allegedly now. He was on Giga Chad Van Vliet, Chris Van Vliet's Insight show. And this is allegedly. Amazing Red says that WWE and 2K told him to be quiet about it after he broke his leg in motion capture session. And that's why he broke his leg from his leg, Brett. So he says he broke his leg doing a spiral tap during a WWE 2K motion capture session the week before the Cruiserweight Classic was due to begin, and that both the game company and WWE told him to keep quiet about it. Red was signed up for the 2016 tournament. Dude, the Cruiserweight Classics fucking ruled, but Amazing Red being in it would have even elevated it even further. I'm surprised during that Cruiserweight era he never got signed up by WWE, but apparently it all fell through because his fucking bone of his leg snapped through his leg, Brett. So he says, I'm super hyped. This is it. This is finally what the whole thing paid off for. I knew as soon as I stepped foot in any of these matches confidently, like I'm getting signed. The Cruiserweight Classic was a 32-man tournament built around cruiserweight wrestlers from around the world. He says, doing this job sucks so bad. I would never do mocap for anything. Mocap is trash. Anybody that tells you otherwise is a liar. That's like doing 5 matches at once. You're not bumping on the pillow. You're bumping on the ring. Everything's legit real and you're bumping constantly. They go right into AJ Styles stuff. Spiral tap. You could do that? Yeah, let me see. I go up there, spiral tap. All right. So look, we're going to have you do it a couple times. They have. It's so funny because 2K has people do these moves a couple times and then they just reuse the same animations for fucking 7 games. So I had to do this move like 7 or 8 times, and a spiral tap is a move I don't like because I'm looking at the ground with the infrared. I'm kind of backwards, so I don't see what I'm doing. Just throw myself. But spiral tap, you can see everything, and I'm not a gymnast. I just learned this jumping on beds, so I'm not really professional doing this. There were 2 crash pads for landing joined in the middle. I go up there. For some reason, I just jump and everything blacks out for me. I hear this and I wake up. I'm on the crash pads and my leg is backwards. And then Loki screams at the top of his lungs, is anybody going to help him? He broke his leg. And once he said that, when he took my leg out of my leg, it was backwards. Once I saw that, instant pain, heat everywhere, all in my body. Then I started screaming. So he goes, I'm bitter about the CM Punk situation. I'm bitter about the No Way Out situation. And to me, my last-ditch effort of being part of WWE was doing a game. So hold on. What is the Amazing Red CM Punk situation? What is the Amazing Red CM Punk No Way Out situation? Let's get an AI overview answer. So it refers to a 2005 dark match tryout where Amazing Red felt bitter for years, believing CM Punk had inadvertently ruined his big chance of getting signed. So Amazing Red was originally scheduled for a standard enhancement squash role involving Matt Morgan. Shout out the Blueprint, friend of the show. However, backstage personnel, notably Sergeant Slaughter and Agent Ricky Steamboat, pivoted the plans, telling Red he was getting a high-profile dark match evaluation against CM Punk, who was also fighting for a WWE contract. The frustration. Backstage, pressure mounted intensely. Red noted that his signature high-flying moves were repeatedly vetoed by agents during the layout, making him feel the match was compromised. Mid-preparations, he was suddenly pulled from a spot because staff claimed Red had something else, leaving him feeling derailed. So years later, Red ran into Punk backstage when Punk was carrying a major world championship belt. Realizing the heavy pressure both men faced just to survive in the business, Red let go of the anger. He later clarified publicly that there's zero animosity. Yeah, so I don't know. You're young and you're fucking just blaming, pointing fingers at other people for why you didn't succeed and all of these fucking things, right? So, shout out Amazing Red. Speaking of things not going right, The Rock and Under Armour split after 10 years. Now, The Rock had some whack-ass shoes that the UFC fighters were all forced to wear, and he had the whole Project Rock deal. The longtime partnership between Under Armour and Johnson's Project Rock training brand is coming to an end, with WWD revealing the split on Thursday. Johnson and his ex-wife and business partner, Danny Garcia, are now expected to look for a new manufacturer to handle Project Rock products. Under Armour will continue distributing Project Rock merchandise through October, giving both sides a little runway before the relationship officially wraps. And after an impressive 10-year run, Under Armour and Dwayne Johnson are bringing our partnership to a natural conclusion as we sharpen our focus and strengthen our core business. We're creating a more unified expression in our training category. Here's the thing. He'll probably keep the deal with UFC going if that's still a thing. I forget if they still wear those shoes. They wear Venom, like fight kits and gear, but they wear like Under Armour Project Rock shoes. And UFC literally has made people, like, you think it's bad in WWE. They've literally made people take their J's off, their fucking Nike shoes off, and go into interviews barefoot. Like, famously. I think they've stopped doing that as much, but they've done that where people had to, like, oh, you're wearing an Adidas shirt, you got to take that off or you can't do interviews. So, I don't know. He'll probably keep that because TKO and all of that stuff. But, yeah. I guess Project Rock and Under Armour are done doing biz together, which is unfortunate. So speaking of unfortunate, because I think SmackDown starts to catch its stride in the 2-hour format, but WWE is expected to move SmackDown back to 3 hours beginning January 27. The target date for that is January 8th. The date could always shift, but the expectation is that the move back to 3 hours is planned as part of the new year programming schedule for USA Network. And that makes a lot of sense. They've moved it back and forth time-wise multiple times, back and forth. Check out my gravel pit. The mystery unravels it. Wu-Tang is the sin that I travel with. So I got SmackDown pulled up here now, guys, as I sing. And so, yeah, shout out SmackDown going back to 3 hours. I think it's better in the 2-hour format and being stacked up with some of these big old names. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWF All right, guys. So SmackDown's pulled up. It's going down right away. It's going down. I hate all the new X updates and the way they're fucking with the bookmarks with Phil Marks bookmarks. It was just cleaner the way they had it before. They lumped together your history, likes, and bookmarks, but it's under a label called history. And it's like, no, if I want to bookmark something, I'll bookmark it. If I'm just liking something, then I'm amplifying it in the algorithm by just liking it. So what the fuck are you putting? I don't need to go back. Oh, I like this tweet that you bookmark it if that's what you want to do. And even if you don't pay for X, you can just bookmark shit. It's just not, you can't put it in folders. It's the only difference. So I don't know what the fuck Elon's doing. Everybody just tampers with shit. It's good. It's fine. Leave it. When is the last time you saw the fucking toaster? Since fucking the 70s. Has the toaster ever been updated? Maybe you can add more toaster slots, but they leave it. It's fine. Okay? It fucking works. Leave it alone. Fuck's sakes, dude. Look at the fucking radio. Right? You can update the CD or the Bluetooth or the aux cord or whatever, but you leave the radio is just the fucking radio. You don't got to change anything about it. The microwave. It fucking works. Okay? You can put a little oven rack in there. You know, make 2 compartments where one toasts things and the other reheats them, whatever. But that's just putting a toaster with a microwave. Leave shit alone, world. Leave shit alone, Elon. Fucking hell. Okay, so let's get into, what do I have? I wrote down what I want to do, my itinerary. Yeah, let's jump on over. We'll do some indie news next. How about that? We'll do indie global news. SmackDown's about to kick off, so let's watch the intro to this before we jump into this next segment. Just see what they have cracking. I'm sure some people are going to be just like walking into the arena, but someone might get jumped, you know, sometimes shit like that happens. So dun 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 dun. Together, then, now, together, forever. You had Jericho on the Observer fucking doing an interview. So, yeah, Owens is here wearing a Stone Cold shirt. So we got Mello, we got Corbin. They're about to throw down. Corbin's still rocking that furry title, so we'll see what happens with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the champion of SmackDown, Owens.
Ladies and gentlemen, as many of you know, Chelsea Green suffered a broken orbital bone last week here on SmackDown.
Okay, so they're booing that Chelsea Green. She suffered a broken orbital.
Without further ado, please welcome the WWE Women's Champion, Chelsea Green.
Okay, so she's going to like vacate or something. They should have never called her the interim, right? And then what happens is she vacates. They just focus on the U.S. title. And then you have an undisputed title match. Chelsea versus Rhea Ripley when they're both healed. That was my fantasy Phil Marks booking. Chelsea looks like disappointed, you know? And the thing is, people are like, tell her to wear the face mask and stuff. Well, you can't do that because, I don't know, Chelsea looks like she could just be kind of acting about it at the same time. But with the face mask and a broken orbital, like you don't want to, you risk like your eye and shit. You don't want to be bumping. You don't want to bump, you know? Like a broken nose is one thing. You can work through that, but and like even bumping with a broken nose probably doesn't help, you know? Probably keeps swelling up longer and things like that. But with a broken orbital, you could just refracture. Like it depends how bad the fracture is, but you can see the blood in her eye there.
My job, okay? But it is my job. So sorry. I need you to relinquish the WWE.
So Chelsea getting over as a babyface here, just going, look, I'll fight, I'll do whatever. It's feeling better. I'll do whatever you need me to do, whatever you want me to do. Just let me hang on to the title. And then they're like, you have to relinquish it. And they should just, no interim, no fucking tournament, no anything. Just shelve the title until for the fucking U.S. championship to gain some more prominence and to fucking be more official and become more legitimized on the show. And then Rhea versus Chelsea, undisputed title match. You deserve it. They're chanting, you deserve it at her. Yeah, she's really spitting an impassioned promo. Let's go. So Chelsea just spitting an impassioned promo. We have some more news here in a sec. I want to hear Chelsea out here. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Hopefully they shelve the women's title, then unveil like a new version that's especially for the women. I don't want it to look the exact same. Like, she might talk Nick Aldis into letting her keep this belt. So they're clapping. They might let her keep the damn thing. Because we don't know how long. Like, it depends how bad the fracture is again in the orbital. Like, if it's badly broken, I don't even think she'd be out here, right? So it's obviously going to heal. And they gave Rhea Ripley time to like, oh, we're gonna fuck it. So I who knows what they do here, but there's too many women's titles, I think, right now with not enough substance. Chelsea's so over. They're hitting her with the yes chant. So let's see. Aldis might go, Chelsea, wait. He's going to go, Chelsea, wait. Chelsea rules. Chelsea rules. Chelsea green. Yeah, see? Chelsea, wait. You're right. Boo. As Nick Aldis, the GM, he's doing the right thing. As Nick Aldis, the man, I don't give a damn what medical says. Okay. 30 days. Damn, see, the people want the shit through good storytelling. Why don't the champions defend the belt every fucking week? Every show. I don't know. Watch boxing. Watch real sports where they defend. If you're a Super Bowl champion, you defend the shit once a year. You know what I mean? If you even make the playoffs, you know? Like, I don't fucking know, dude. Give her 30 days to get cleared. I think that's fair. And they worked it into a storyline and they don't want to jump the title around. And then you still have, no matter what, we get Rhea versus Chelsea, undisputed champ, whenever Rhea comes back. Or whoever the champ is, I'm assuming it'll be Chelsea. It makes sense. But the United States women's title's kind of floundering a bit. And now Gunther getting involved. And how often do you see a male wrestler get involved in like a female storyline angle situation? But they do overlap. So I'm already digging this. A Gunther Chelsea promo battle, dude. Let's fucking go.
This is not the time or the place. You want to discuss that? discuss it in my office like men. But right now, I'm dealing with the women's ship. You know what, Chelsea? Let's be honest with each other, okay?
Oh shit, we're gonna get a Gunther Chelsea back and forth.
The week later, you bump into a door frame, and now you're out of here crying about it.
I mean, it's a good way to get heat on a guy wrestler, undermining the over babyface woman wrestler.
I made a man tap up right in front of the spectacle. Anyway, Nick, why did you ask Kevin to my match? You know what's funny? I didn't add Kevin to your match. I added you to Kevin's match.
Oh shit, and Aldous and Gunther's still going at it.
But we've been negotiating Kevin's return at SummerSlam for months.
So they were negotiating Owens' return at SummerSlam for months.
Sorry you couldn't get the job done.
Oh shit, couldn't get the job done. Chelsea. Cardona, we're gonna get like Cardona's gonna come out and be like, hey, don't talk to my wife like that or something. Do you guys think, or is that undermining Chelsea as an independent woman who stands on her own 2 feet? Oh shit, she chapped him. Bitch, he got chapped. Oh yeah, Cardona, there you go. Yeah, that rules. And listen to the crowd. Woo, 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 woo. How apropos we were playing Zack Ryder in the intro, singing along with all those songs. And this is a great match for tonight. Oh shit, he's gonna say slurs. Oh shit. Now he's like a dog listens to his owner. Now Cardona's all over him. Later tonight or next week, we get a match. Gunther versus Cardona. Probably tonight. So he's like, Nick, do something about it. Then it just cuts to commercial. Damn. Are you guys also getting an Unreal Season 3 commercial, or is this just Netflix? Damn. I was hooked. What an opening, intro to the fucking show. So we're obviously going to get a match set up or something. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into miscellaneous global, international, intercontinental, continental, national news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So, folks, JCW that follow PWT, shout out JCW who followed me this morning, I believe. Now I shill for them. No. JCW's Bloody Mania 19 goes down Friday, August 21 at the Gathering of the Juggalos in Max Creek, Missouri. The main event picture centers on Violent J and the JWO challenging the Luciano family to gore games, with both sides recruiting extra muscle for the match. Bloody Mania lands in the middle of the gathering's 4-day run at Mother Nature's Riverfront Retreat, the festival's first year in Missouri's Lake of the Ozarks area. Hell yeah. Shout out the Juggalos and Juggalettes. And I maintain they need to do the pink dust gimmick that Joey Janela whipped out against Nicolo Piccolo. Someone in JCW needs to steal pink dust. And he's like a shiny pink gold dust knockoff, but he sells pink cocaine. And then he feuds with cocaine. And he's like, oh, you and your ring rat, that's street level bum stuff. We sell only the finest cocaina around this way. And that's what their feud is based around. So JCW, whoop, whoop. I know you guys are listening. So no, I don't know that at all, but you should do that. We move along here, and the Maple Leaf Pro Women's title is on the line in Toronto, bud, as Giselle Shaw defends against Becca. B3CCA is the champion of AAA. So this Saturday at Greektown Wrestling. Who walks out with the gold? So my money's on B3CCA with a 3 because she's cool. And speaking of the indies and whatnot, Court Bauer confirmed that MLW is in talks with Tessa Blanchard. So on Who's the Champ pod, I believe it's a podcast, Court Bauer says she's been someone that's been in the mix, I think, since she became a free agent. And a lot of people have been wondering about her in MLW. I can confirm we are in talks with Tessa. That's about all I can confirm at this point, but, she's incredibly talented. And, she works with CMLL and so does MLW, so it makes sense, and they should scoop her up. I think MLW would be a good place for her, especially at this point in her career where it seems like every American company kind of is like, I don't know what TNA didn't do. They didn't book her or pay her enough, I guess. Like, I don't know what went wrong there, but MLW, they're doing awesome shit, and she would be another reason to be like, oh, I want to watch that show. Because a lot of people hate on her, but a lot of people like Tessa as well. Like, she's got a pretty solid fan base. So speaking of appearances, Zelina. Now, she's announced for the same show that Aleister Black or Malachi Black is going to appear at in the UK. He's there for a few dates. I forget what Fed is putting that on, Progress Wrestling or something like that. She was also announced for those same shows. Obviously, they're going to bring in, the wife-husband duo. But HOG over there with JD. She'll be in action wrestling at Fallout September 4th in LA. And I like that they're doing this instead of going to fucking AEW. They should just float around a bunch of feds, make money. In MLW, you could do a feud. I've said this, Scarlett, Zelina, Cross, Black, they all cross over and intertwine. And then eventually they're all forced to team up against whoever. The Skyscrapers, the Contra Mercs, the fucking Contra, just the Good Brothers, however you want to do it. There's a year's worth of shit of story that could be told there with all of that. So, shout out Zelina. And we have a couple more stories. Let's jump back here to SmackDown, though. So you got Gunther so it's not a match later tonight. They're both just in their jeans and sneaks, fucking throwing down, buddy. It's so good. They come back from commercial. These guys are just jeaned up in their sneakers, having a fight. Chelsea's out there with Cardona, which I'm down. Let's see more of this. Like, I'm down to see them together, like, more frequently. It doesn't even have to be all the time. And we're seeing apron bombs and shit. Like, Gunther's just whooping Cardona's ass. But Cardona's putting up a fight, so. And Chelsea Green's just like, he would have got disqualified if I slapped you in the face right there. Oh, just a nasty Saito suplex. So yeah, let's continue with some news here, okay? While we keep an eye on this match. Speaking of ex-WWE, so former WWE star Patrick Clark Jr. is set for an August 29 boxing match against Pillow Talk podcaster Ryan Pownall. So I have no idea who that even is, but Velveteen Dream. He is stepping into a boxing ring, and he's taking on the Pillow Talk podcast. Now, I've heard of that pod, but I've never listened to it, I don't think, unless maybe in the history of PWT, I've played a clip of them, and I'm not recalling. I don't even know if they talk to wrestlers or whatever, but social media personality Ryan Pownall in a cruiserweight bout at Dual Arena 1 on a Saturday, August 29 at the Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. Mike Perry versus Dylan Dennis headlines the card. So if it's boxing, like, Perry's going to wash Dennis, no problem. And then you have Velveteen Dream stepping into, like, influencer boxing. I hope he doesn't get embarrassed. But I don't know, man. It's crazy how this guy was once being primed up and set up to be one of the biggest. I think he would have been pushed and presented as one of the biggest, like, gimmicks and guys in the business just overall. If he made to main roster, he would have been pushed as a main top guy. I think it was just inevitable, the direction he was headed in. And he just fell so far to where he's doing influencer boxing, and he's likely going to get embarrassed. I don't know if he's got hands or not, but it's just embarrassing he's doing this to begin with, and it's embarrassing for the promotion. I'm not saying the guy should never be able to have a job again or anything, but, like, wasn't he creeping on kids and road raging and stuff like that? I don't know. Hopefully he's just good in his life, and oh, how the mighty have fallen, you know? So unfortunate. And especially, too, because, like, the influencer boxing thing is kind of dying off. Like, Jake Paul's now trying to seriously be taken serious as an MMA promoter because the influencer boxing thing is kind of dead. Because there's been too many fucking fights that are just, like, eyebrow raising. And that's why Aiden Ross puts on these fights, because it does views for, like, his kick and shit. And it's between influencers, but it's like it's like being held at the PC. You know, there's a crowd, but it's not a big crowd. It's just like in a warehouse somewhere. And yeah, they pay people and it does a lot of viewers and it gets sponsors and all this shit. But it's just like, dude, bro, like, okay, when you were younger, you and your friends, like me and my friends would do this. We'd scrap or do, like, body shot only MMA fights in the backyard and have fun type shit. You know, people would box or whatever. You'd slap box each other. And now that's like influencer boxing. It's just a bunch of fucking people on Kick watching douchebags punch each other. And they all train and take it seriously. But really the whole, like, influencer boxing thing is just dying down. You know, the heat on it is gone. Now, there's still crossover appeal and, like, oh, this MMA guy versus this boxer or whatever, but the market just got saturated so quickly. And I mean, some of these ex-WWE guys would be like, Real American Freestyle is way cooler because it's a shoot. It's like, okay, I'd rather see, like, a real WWE guy go against, like, let's say a UFC guy in a fucking amateur wrestling match. Or I'd love to see a legendary amateur wrestler take on this legendary jiu-jitsu guy in an amateur wrestling match. You know, watching guys with no hands, like, get knocked out, or, like, you know, watching ex-NBA players get fucking starched. It's just corny and lame, and I'm just fearful that this guy's going to get meme KO'd. Velveteen Dream is going to be remembered for getting fucking starched. Okay? So speaking of ex-WWE guys, Kofi Kingston has filed to trademark Kofi Sarkodie Mensah. Hopefully I pronounced all that correctly. And KSM And his real name's Kofi, so he can just go by Kofi, which works. Kofi and Creed. Creed, everybody knows Xavier Woods is also called Austin Creed. So that's good shit right there, and I'm excited. It should just be Kofi and Creed against Cope and Cage. At All In, but they're going to convolute it, put them in a trios match that just completely muddies and takes away from their debut. And it's going to be a triple threat trios match spot fest where Hangman and the Broditos and then Ricochet and the Agonies and then New Day and Swerve, they're all just doing their spots and getting their shit in. And it's just like spot, and it's going to just take away from the moment, right? So it's incredibly unfortunate, but shout out Kofi. I'm incredibly excited for him to return to the ring. Now, also another person who's a friend of the show, who I am harsh on, but Vince Russo has put your boy Phil over, and he's quite the character. And again, you guys can be mad at Coach and Bro. Vince ain't breaking any news on Coach and Bro. That's Coach, just making shit up. Vince Russo says a lot of egregious, funny, hilarious shit. He's almost like a parody of himself at this point, but at the same time, it is fucking hilarious. It's content for days. Jeff Lane posts this. Friend of the show, Jeff Lane, says, Roid Gut, EC3 response. So they had EC3 on. Now, again, I signal boosted the fuck out of, whoa, something's wrong with EC3 here. And you guys remember the clip, we played it on the show, where he was like limping to the ring and his belly was kind of sticking out and he looked like he was, people were like, he's pilled up or drunk or something. And he mysteriously hasn't been on TNA for a while. He like had a no DQ match. Then he's just mysteriously not there, even though he had this big return at Rebellion, but he's doing indie dates. So it's like, why the fuck aren't they booking him? And then Rockstar Spud came out and was like, he said it was because of this and this and this. And he gave like 7 reasons. Right. And then EC3 gave all these reasons. He's like, well, I was selling my leg because I had a match earlier. So I'm selling the injury I had because my leg got worked over earlier. But then EC3 then listed like 5 other things on top of that, though. He's like, it was a layover. It was early. I was tired. I didn't eat. I was selling my leg. And it's like, well, if you were just selling your leg, say I was just selling my leg, and sorry, you bums who have never worked out a day in your life fucking think I got a gut, but you can see my abs or whatever, right? Like that's how you own everybody. But instead he kind of listed like 7 different things, and now he's talking about steroid gut. So, you know, my skeptical hippo eyes fucking, to quote Brendan Schaub, right? Ride through the city like Brendan Schaub. My skeptical hippo eyes go, why wouldn't you just say I was selling my leg? So, bro, let me tell you, Vince Russo's the brand. Bro, I hand to God, bro, I will get to the bottom of this EC3 story, bro. Did you have a steroid gut? Let me tell you, I have never taken a steroid in my life, bro, and I'm a former world wrestling heavyweight champion, bro. These marks, all these marks in the back, hand to God, I swear to God, bro, all these marks in the back take their gimmicks, but me and David Arquette never touched a steroid in my life, bro. So that's probably what he's going to say. Let's take a listen. This is courtesy of the patreon.com/RussoTWC. Shout out Vince Russo's brand.
The physiology doctrines of people, too, surprises me. Where if I have to hear fucking roid gut ever again, say it to my face and see what happens. But you wouldn't.
Oh, you're threatening violence on people. Lock them up. That's criminal. Criminal intent. Go to prison. No.
You're a coward. When you're super lean and have a fucking dialed in midsection, I'm sorry, not a lot of wrestlers have this. But when you have muscles on your stomach, it looks thick. It's a thick trunk because that's where muscles go. And here's the kicker.
That is true because he does like a bulkier thing, but don't front EC3 like it's your whole. It's just the Joe Rogan thing. Like you have your head, your whole body, your whole frame. Like trust me, people who work out know you've taken shit. Like I don't know, like if you were an MMA fighter or you played pro basketball or something, you'd probably pop for something. Okay, and I personally am not even hating on that. You're a pro wrestler, you know. Chris Hemsworth does steroids. Okay, he plays Thor. I don't care. You know, you should if you're gonna play Thor. So, you don't front like you haven't taken anything.
I've never talked about, but nobody ever asked me about it. You notice on my stomach, there's a gigantic scar, right?
It's a GH gut, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Never
or HG. It's like human growth. You're taking something, bro. Okay, everybody knows it's all good.
Fucking once have I been asked about it. Well, maybe once, and maybe it was Rikishi because Rikishi had a scar too. Okay, so I have this scar on my stomach from a very traumatic event in my life. The first memory of my life was feeling the extreme pains of getting staples pulled out of my belly.
Isn't it crazy how this is MJF's gimmick? This sounds like an MJF promo.
From an emergency surgery that prevented me from dying because my insides were bleeding, okay? And I nearly died, and my grandma saved my life.
Shout out grandma. Shout out grandma C3, dude.
Because
is this when you were a kid, a teenager? When was this?
I was 3 years old.
Holy shit. So wait, so walk me through that. What happened?
I was a big fat little baby, right? I was a fat little kid. And one day I got sick and I started losing a bunch of weight and I was like never right. And I was always tired and I had no energy. And my parents would take me to the doctor and they're like, oh, he's just got the flu. He'll be all right. I'll give him whatever, give him this. Then one day, like my grandma was like looking at me and I was just
Russo, if you're watching this, bro, if you check, bro, come on and make fun of Dave Meltzer with me. Or I'll come on your show and make fun of Dave Meltzer. How about that?
It's like
either one. Let's do it.
Playing with my Legos or something. And she just this week and she's like, took me to the hospital and she's like, he is sick. You got to do something. They're like, he's fine. And she's like, no, he's not. And then she would not leave until they did a thorough exam. And then they do this thorough exam.
So, okay, I'm happy he's telling this story because I didn't know any of this, but I don't know what this has to do with him limping to the ring and seeming all woozy and shit, you know? But maybe they explain it more. You have to check out Vince Russo's Patreon or whatever the fuck to figure out if they did the more of diving deep, rather not investigating, more explanation on why he appeared to be in the state he was in. But all I can think when I'm hearing this is MJF ripped his whole shit off from this.
Holy shit, we got to get him into surgery now. He's bleeding out from the inside. So have this surgery because I had ulcers in my stomach bleeding. And
as a 3-year-old kid, holy shit, bro.
Right. And so I don't remember any of it, but what I do remember, because my very first memory was waking up with that light in my face, getting these staples pulled out of my stomach. So childhood trauma is real. All right. And I don't talk about this because
where the Perot are Perot and the Barrows are the Barrows, bro.
It sounds like I'm complaining, but whatever. So then when I was 6 years old, it happened again. So I've had two major surgeries on my stomach and my digestive system. And so
did they know what the cause or the root of it was, bro?
No.
Wow. So you had surgery.
What? Hold on. I'm sorry I can't make it. So you just watch EC3 closely. Put your faces right up to your screens and just look at when he answered.
Did they know what the cause or the root of it was, bro?
No.
Wow. So you had surgery again at 6.
What was that? What was that face he made? I don't know. Are you sure they did these surgeries and they don't have any clue what it was? I don't know.
It's the same thing.
A lighter version of it. It was more like preventative from it coming back.
Yeah.
But okay. Body the surgery is what? 80, 90, and I'm sorry. 87 and 90, 1990. So my body's going to be a little different. And there's such thing as scar tissue, right? And so scar tissue, maybe on a normal person in an organ of that area, might not be noticed. But when it's accumulated to years upon years of physical stress, trauma, abuse, training, bumps, maybe my body heals differently. And around this scar tissue.
Are we still coping about using steroids, guys? Like, is this what it sounds? Do I have to run the fucking music? Like, hey, I'm so sorry that happened to you where you got those surgeries when you were a kid, but like.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard, coping and seething.
Like, I'm an EC3 fan, but it's 2026. Like, we can't cope about steroids or like using shit. Like,
it has accumulated.
Everybody can tell you've taken shit, bro. That most people would go, oh, so pretty much steroids. Like, you don't get creatine gut like that, you know what I mean? Or even just like the way you got a big ass head, dude. Go look at old videos of you on TNA. I used to watch you, and you took some shit. It's all good, bro. That has nothing to do with like, you know, why did you look all out of it and shit? And I don't even care about an explanation. Just take care of yourself. But why aren't you in TNA? Why is there 7 excuses? Like, if we're gonna talk about it, you know, it should just be I was selling my leg and okay, I got a gut. Do you work out? Boom. End of discussion. Shout out Vince Russo, though. He's actually conducting a great interview here.
In this vicinity.
Just from this clip we're seeing, like it's not like coaching, bro. Let me tell you, he's letting him talk and shit. You know?
So to say I have a fucking beer belly is goddamn insanity. Pardon me, God. But like, know what the fuck you're talking about. But you're not.
Pardon me, God. I didn't mean it.
Going to know, and nobody's going to sit there and listen to my story. Or if I posted that online, no one's going to go, "Oh, you're just not one thing."
No, they're going to say you're full of shit. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say you're making all that up. That's what they're going to say.
I mean,
I don't think he's making any of that up, but I do think there's a bit of cope going on here about. Look, bro, you're in the pro wrestling business. I mean, come on.
The only other thing I could do is go get a doctor's note and post it.
This is like Hulk Hogan on Arsenio, dude. Like, come on. Oh, come on now, EC3. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Indies Global Miscellaneous, whatever the fuck news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Wowza. Insanity. Okay, so SmackDown's in another commercial. We got the U.S. title up next. Cody Rhodes was yelling at Sami Zayn, trying to be all tough. And, yeah, it is what it is. We got more news coming your guys' way. A jam-packed show here. Guys. What's chat saying? How about the Loch Ness Monster? I wouldn't trust EC3 with 3 cents. He wasn't right in his last run in WWE. No, I think he was. I have a roid gut because I have a tattoo because of trauma. You guys are. Yo, Lincoln, what up? Let's go, Sammy. Okay, yeah. So Sami Zayn and Rhodes beef in a bit. We had that match. Gunther got the choke out. We're getting into some U.S. title action, which Corbin's gonna get the win. Let's be real. So let's get into, ladies and gentlemen, dust off the country road banjos, get your aces and eights in chat. It is time for TNA news. So in TNA news here, Fightful's reporting that TNA is recruiting for its Knockouts division following several departures. Many wrestlers from the independent circuit reacted to this news, showing their interest. So Alley Catch did, Vipress, Abaddon. They should sign up Abaddon. And I know people are like, Abaddon's the shits, and I know Tone just rolled her out every Halloween. But she has a look and a weird aesthetic, and you could definitely capitalize on that. Something with Rosemary, something with the bunny, something with, I don't fucking know. Casey Lennox, who's like, I don't want to call her Timu Monet, but she looks like a Monet. Like, she looks like Monet. She's got to do something different with her hair or something, because she just gives Monet vibes. And then Evilise, which, shout out Evilise as well. I mean, it's incredibly unfortunate with Evilise where she's gotten into these, like, she is a very solid pro wrestler. But she got in like shoot situations with Thunder Rosa and stuff like that. You know, it's unfortunate. She's had heat with wrestlers in the past that hasn't favored her that well going into the future. But I mean, come on, just look at that. You can't tell me you can't figure out how to market that to, especially when you do like the Rosemary Abyss, like it's built in. Just have her be a part of that. Again, I'm not the biggest Abaddon stan. Some people think it's a turnoff, but you could market that, okay? These other gals, sure. I mean, if they're good wrestlers, you need to bolster the fucking Knockouts division. Vipress clearly has a look, and yeah, they're bulking up because some ladies are leaving, which we've been covering here. So speaking of unfortunate news in TNA, or good news, I guess, because he's going into the Hall of Fame again. Amazing Red was on Giga Chad Chris Van Vliet show, and on Insight, shout out Insight, he talked about I don't feel like I'm old. And he said, I'm never going to retire. I'm just going to let it happen. And he talked about him turning down the TNA Hall of Fame induction multiple times. Right? And he says, what did he say? I'm never going to retire. But he was offered multiple times to be in the Hall of Fame, and he's turned it down. But they sprung it on him, I believe, just on television. So you can't say no, really. They kind of worked him into a shoot, brother. And also, he just should do it, even if he keeps wrestling. Like, other people are in the WWE Hall of Fame and they still wrestle. So you might as well do it. You deserve to be honored. Amazing Red is awesome. He also talked about inventing the Code Red and shit when he was only 16. Amazing Red is an innovator. And yeah, WWE, bring back the Cruiserweight division, bitch. Don't be cowards. No. So speaking of championships and divisions and whatnot, shout out TNA. TNA, don't fucking destroy me for this one. We're going to play this. This went down on Impact, okay? And the TNA World title match between Hardy and Nemeth went down. Dude, there were ladies in the crowd melting for Nick Nemeth, melting for Jeff Hardy. Okay, they put on a banger, two vets. The crowd's going nuts, on their feet, signs in tow. TNA's pulling up this winter, and they're doing a run of shows and Impact tapings in Canada again. I'm definitely gonna go to one or a couple of those as well. I don't want to miss it because TNA's taken off, and hopefully they can get Jeff Hardy's ass in the country, because when you have multiple like DUI, it's hard to get in or out of Canada when you have like multiple DUIs or like gun related shit, you know, like they don't let you in or out really. But TNA and and WWE are able to pull some strings. So hopefully Jeff Hardy can show up in Canada. But these guys put on a hell of a fucking match. TNA right now is cooking again. Nick Nemeth, I've said it a billion times, he's such a net positive as their world champion. I hope after this Hardy saga with Nemeth, I want to see Sheamus show up and have Nemeth and Sheamus do a run for that world title, dude. That would be so awesome. And is it taking a spot from people in TNA? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Is it? Like, obviously Moose wants to be up there. He's held the title fucking 10 times. Like, it's all good, you know, maybe not that many times, but it's all good. Like, it only will help elevate everybody. And I think Sheamus and Nemeth could help take this shit to a whole other level, because Sheamus has still got some in the tank. I don't want to just see him wasted in fucking AEW or some bullshit like Lashley is. I don't want to see that, man. Like, obviously you'll get paid more to go to AEW or whatever. You know, listen, man. We all know who Sheamus's agent is. Obviously, he wants that AEW bag. Sheamus's Hollywood agent friend, and our Hollywood agent friend of the show, was saying that he's gonna pull up to Lockdown in Chicago and shit. I'm just saying, keep an eye on this shit, man. I want to see Sheamus tearing it down with Nemeth next. The Hardys can do whatever. The Hardys could be involved in like this WrestleMania season and then go into the Hall of Fame and do the whole, because, you know, the Saudis are going to want a big Hall of Fame celebration. Brock Lesnar, the Hardys, fucking, like, right, who else could be inducted this year? Like, right there, that's big time shit. John Cena's not in the fucking Hall of Fame yet, is he? So maybe they do. I don't think they would do Cena and Brock all in the same Hall of Fame class, though. Maybe they do. But like Hardy's going in and then maybe like having a match at Mania. I don't want to see them go on like a world title run. Here's the thing, though. The state of the tag team divisions in WWE, would you really be mad if the Hardys had one last run with the titles before all said and done? A couple months, lose them at Mania, put over a young teamers. I wouldn't even be mad at that with the state of their tag division right now. I don't need to see the Hardys go on individual runs, but I do want to see them have one last WWE match, whatever that is. Whether it's on a Raw, a SmackDown, an SNME, a fucking WrestleMania, then Taker comes out, inducts them into the Hall of Fame. Undertaker, of course, famously giving respect to Jeff Hardy in that fucking ladder match. So that could be cool to be like, and then Lita can induct them. No, I'm joking. Michael PSAs. Lita can induct Matt and Jeff into the Hall of Fame. No, but Nemeth and fucking Jeff Hardy tore it down, and Nemeth retained the title.
Individually, two of the best. Look out.
So we'll keep this small here. RKO. So whatever you want to call that, a running twist of fate or just an RKO.
Looking for danger zone. Hold on.
Boom.
Oh no. Nemeth is prone. Nemeth is down. And this...
Look at the crowd. Everyone on their feet. Listen to the crowd. That's the best fucking reaction besides a pop where just like someone's music hits, then everyone's just immediately gong at Mania 40 and everyone that's the best pop. And then the other, you know, you're so fucking over when the crowd goes you know what I mean? Those are the two best pops you can get.
Oh no. Nemeth is prone. Nemeth
and then they all rise to their feet, people jumping.
Never survived.
Let's go. TNA. TNA.
Is his title reign about to be rendered obsolete?
Swanton, knees up. Crushed him. Knees up. Brutal landing. And then Nemeth goes for the pin. A great false finish here, too. Or maybe that's not technical. I don't know. Just a great near fall, rather, in this moment, too. Like, knees up, go for the pin. Why fuck around? Like, you almost had him out before. Kick out. Crowd reacts. Oh, fuck.
It was Hardy who had Nemeth's number the last couple of minutes.
Hardy hooking the rope.
Nemeth with the fourth arm this time. Last second.
Right? Lockdown's coming up. So Nemeth sizes him up for the super duper kick.
Nemeth close it out here, though.
Hardy catches, spin around, kick, twist of fate, reverse. The danger zone. The born again, the zigzag. Whatever you want to call it, dude. The finish. And look at the people, hands on their heads. Everybody's up, booing, cheering. People can't believe it, but the crowd was peaked. They didn't go kick out here, then reverse finish, fighting spirit, power up, reverse finish, I hit finish, then you kick out again, steal my finish, hit your finish, 1, 2, 3. They had the crowd peaked. The drama. Fucking end it. 1, 2, 3. Everyone. Oh my God. Just brilliant, man.
Nemeth is still champion.
And this is why TNA does so well, and it's getting over with the younger folks too. Because it's just good storytelling and good television wrestling. I think pound for pound, TNA gets the whole television wrestling in an hour or two concept better than most companies.
Atop this division, atop this company as your world champion.
And Nemeth is such like a net positive as their world champion. His first run was successful. This run's successful. Say what you will about Santana, like he's all good and shit, but like Nemeth as champ, even like when Hendry's champ or whoever, Nemeth as champ is just like a no-brainer, so ideal. He does such a good job. He's way better doing this than teaming with his brother and shit. And it seemed like TNA fell in a bit of a lull there when he was just teaming with his brother. TNA bring in Sheamus, Nemeth. That's a feud for the ages right there. Sign Sheamus for 6 months. Do 6 months worth of shit. And that's just money right there, you know? And he retains the title. That, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA News. Brought to you by patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times, guys. Bunch of content on there. Check it out. So Mello and Corbin put on a bit of a banger. And Mello fought hard, but Corbin got it done. So we all expected that was going to happen. Speaking of things that you expect to happen, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yay!
Okay, so we got Lil Yachty running in with the cane there. Trick super over. Probably win that title back. So good. So good. So far, a pretty good SmackDown, yeah. Let's see. So Tiffy Time and Chelsea are getting more friendly, which is good stuff. We have AEW news up next on the itinerary, guys. So we're going to get CM Punk and Kevin Owens face to face here right away. Okay, Club PWT. They're running a Club WWE advertisement. So let's get into some stuff ourselves, shall we? Okay, let's head over here, everybody, all together. Ichi ni sanda. Because it is time for AEW news.
It's great.
Featuring the best guy whose name is Tony Khan. And we are on Tony Khan Wild. And he hasn't gone live lately. So it's unfortunate, but oh well. It's better when he doesn't all the time, because when we get too many Tone lives, it can be rough sometimes. So recently on Dynamite, this last Dynamite, we saw this spot that happened, and Dave just fucking swept for it, was like, oh, it's kind of silly. And it just shows you who's a shill, right? So for instance, I just kind of poked fun at Vince Russo a bit. Him and I have DM'd, and he put me over huge, you know? It doesn't mean he's not a silly guy and a character that's funny to do an impression of, right? Dave Meltzer, this was silly. Just sweeping a fucking screwdriver stabbing botch spot to the head. Just sweeping it under the rug. And he did this before, too, when Takeshita fought Okada. There was a screwdriver to the head spot for the finish, and it was right in front of the ref. Right in front of the ref. It wasn't Aubrey being dumb, laying down, going, hey, are you going to quit? Not paying attention to anything else. Like, this would be the worst ref ever. Should be fired if this is what they're doing. So it was right in front of the ref. Dave wrote about it in The Observer, and he tells everybody, read and learn, Brian. And you read The Observer, and he breaks down the whole match move for move. German suplex into the Rainmaker, but Takeshita ducked under, and then it was a Hurricane Rana superplex to the outside of the ring, Tiger Driver 97, Dragon suplex on the apron, literally going move for move. And then at the end of the match, in his review, we read it on air, he goes, besides the finish, it was a great match. And then he doesn't mention what happened in the finish. The finish was a screwdriver to the head, pin, 1, 2, 3, and he gave it 4.5 stars. It was right in front of the ref, and he just fucking ignores it. So it's so funny, because here's the same example of this, and then Jericho just gave The Observer a fucking interview, and it was Dave and Garrett, not Dave and Brian, because fucking Dave and Brian are in the middle of getting a divorce right now. Not actually, but someday soon, possibly. I don't think Bry will. He's gonna stay around forever, because he just gets more that way. He's the disheveled housewife who gets abused, right? But Chris Jericho, man, let's look at this spot. Hopefully we don't get Don Stevens here. We'll keep it small, but basically what happened, he's got him in the walls of Jericho. It's Kevin Knight, and Jericho is in the middle of the ring, so he's forced to like walk forward to the fucking apron. And he's like nodding over to Callis, like, get over here. And then he's yelling, go, 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 go back, go back. Like he's yelling like John Cena. They're filming it. And then Callis gets in the ring, hides the screwdriver, gets back out of the ring. Why would you do that? Jericho walks a guy to the ropes, which doesn't make sense if you put someone in a submission. So what should have happened was, this is how you save this. And this is what should have happened if this what they were trying to book. Kevin Knight screaming and doing the heel thing. He's like grabbing the ref's shirt. Oh, please, I don't want to tap. I'm not tapping. Like pulling the ref's shirt or whatever. And the ref's like, well, let go. Jericho lets go of the Boston Crab, walks up, gets shanked on the apron. It's just dumb. It's shitty. Everyone's green. Nobody touches on house shows, so they don't know how to work each other. And the greenness is on Kevin Knight. Jericho's just like, he's worst, man. I'm fucking sorry. He's entering his worst era. His matches just, they overall are not good and stink for the most part. If he hasn't been in his worst era already, Callis is just a goofball. I just and again, I'm a fan of Jericho. I'm a fan of Callis. I like Kevin Knight, but I mean, Callis, it's just, he can cut a good promo, but like, who has gotten over being in the Callis family? Fletcher's over, man. It's not, or like getting more over. It's not because he's in the Callis family. Nobody, like Hechicero isn't more over because he's in the Callis family. Doyle and Davis aren't more over because they're in the fucking Callis family. You know, it's just getting goofy at this point. Maybe you could argue Andrade because he joined it and then said fuck you to them. So I would say that's in spite of the Callis family. He got over. However you want to chalk it up here, I don't know, man. They just keep fucking up and doing the same things, and Dave sweeps for it because Jericho gives them a fucking interview, and this is exactly what people are talking about. Dave Meltzer wants to go all objective and unbiased journalists who are nobody's go. This is what Dave said, and we covered this on Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week last night. Dave's like, oh, once I'm gone, you know, nobody works as hard as me. Nobody's as hungry as I am to do their job properly. And when all the journalists leave, you know, Brian, when, the journalists are like, or when I leave the game, all the journalists are going to fucking like shill, and all of them are dishonest. And, you know, Brandon Thurston and John Pollock are much different than me, Brian, but they are not dishonest and they're objective and blah, blah, blah. But meanwhile, you're sweeping for this because you're giving him a fucking interview. And this is exactly what the lowest level pods. This is why Will Ospreay goes on a pod no one's fucking heard of to get 120 views in 2 days. Other than the clip where he talks about fucking WWE for 4 seconds. That's why these people go, yeah, we love AEW. Oh, please, Mr. Khan, come on Fightful, whatever. Oh, please, Mr. Khan, come on Sports Illustrated. We love AEW. It's doing so good. The second most successful. It's because you guys give interviews, and Tone was spiteful towards people like Busted Open and people like Ariel Helwani for a long time. He was like spiteful towards them. And when he went on Ariel, he made that clear. He's like, see, I think I'm answering every question, and I think I'm being open, and hey, Jesus wouldn't be shitty towards people, so I'm not going to be shitty towards people anymore. And that's his whole fucking thing, because he was keeping wrestlers off of interviews and whatnot of places that didn't put AEW over. And that's just an objective reality. So Dave, like, you're sweeping for Jericho, and people are like, Jericho calls up Dave and he has forever. That's not how Jericho moves. Okay. People who know Jericho know this.
He had Cuervo with him the whole time too.
He fucking has little birdies. So he'll say shit to people that will say shit to Dave, and Dave knows where it's coming from, and Jericho knows where it's going, but Jericho isn't like picking up the phone, you know, but he is friendly with Dave and he gives them an interview and all of that. And that's why Dave sweeps for it. And so Jericho gets stabbed in the head here. And then whatever, man. It's stupid. It's just garbage, and it's just another botch. That's your AEW botch of the week. So speaking of other funny shit to happen in AEW, and I've said this a bunch as well, most AEW fans are WWE fans. Most WWE fans are not AEW fans. Mercedes Moné, who was cutting promos literally just sounding like my impression of her, which is the funniest thing ever. She's over there attacking and beating up Willow. And somebody in the crowd, in the fucking not even 1,900 people in Vegas in the crowd, so everyone can hear it, they're yelling, Sasha, we love you. Come home. Sasha, come home. And so a lot of the audience that shows up to AEW shows are people who like will watch Raw every week, never watch AEW ever, but they'll show up if AEW's in town because they're wrestling fans, and you get to see Monet, you get to see Edge and Christian and shit. This is something sickos need to accept as well. This is something people like Dave Meltzer need to accept as well. Dave Meltzer comes up with theories like, well, 4 people take turns buying pay-per-views every month, so their pay-per-view numbers are actually 4 times if those people bought every single month. And even Brian Alvarez is like, what? Because people just don't believe that shit. It's bullshit. And they're not beating Raw. It's bullshit. Anybody who thinks that is fucking mentally unhinged. And so a lot of the people that go to these AEW shows as well are wearing WWE shirts. And they are there to fucking see Edge or Chris Jericho. And they don't give a fuck. And then Dave blames the fans. Why aren't they into this Ospreay stuff? It's weird, their reaction. Because they don't give a fuck about Ospreay. Okay? A bunch of the sickos don't even like Ospreay. Because of the whole speaking out debacle and the whole like him being cringe on fucking TV all the time. A lot of the sickos are like Ospreay's cringe. So what makes you think like general people? So there's people there yelling, Sasha, come home. We love you. And it's fucking hilarious.
Sasha, come home.
Sasha, come home.
Sasha, we love you.
And it's more than just, it's multiple people. We love you. Over the promo, there's nobody in the building, so everyone can hear it.
Bitch.
And the way they mic it up, they can't help but pick it up. And then she's like, dumma bitch.
Dumb bitch. All back.
All a bad time.
Sasha, come home. Sasha, we love you. Dumb bitch.
Dumma bitch. I want to see her and Bailey link up. It'll be funny. I actually like Monet. I do. She's very cringe when she speaks. It's like a little bit of Mean Girl, but she does like a thing at the end. And when she's talking regularly, she doesn't emphasize Tisa at the afterwards that end with NT. But when she's angry, when I'm angry, I really emphasize my Tisa. It's very silly how she talks. And you know what they say. Sometimes in life, it's like her fake wrestler speak. I'm sure if you're just talking to her in person, she doesn't talk
in
like
life,
that.
you gotta be a hoe.
But it's pretty fucking funny. And I like her. I like how she makes fun of Dave and how Dave doesn't rate her matches and stuff. I think that's awesome. And I think Tone fumbled. He's setting up my AEW. Well, why weren't you promoting all the different indies that Monet was showing up on your show with 13 different indie titles from 13 different fucking indie feds, and you could have been co-opting them and getting them all building up my AEW beforehand. But Tone didn't think of any of this until it turns out he's going to end up only on my AEW if he doesn't get a TV deal anywhere in the next year or so. It's fucking crazy. It's mental that he didn't foresee this. Everybody could foresee this. Even if you get another TV deal, start building this shit up. What are you doing? What are you doing? You had all the indie shit in the palm of your fucking hand and you fumbled it all. And you just put yourself on their level is what Tone did. Ugh. So the Observer announces that Grand Slam Mexico, the live gate was well over 600,000, which would make it among the largest for a television taping in AEW history. So that's great. This week's Dynamite, they did 1,900 people, and I put a tweet out going, okay, 600K, that's not even Ricochet's salary this year. Now, some people are like, oh, come on now, Phil, you're just being a fucking hater.
Come on now, Eric.
That's not very fair. It's a healthy AEW. But this is what people are. I'm not just being a hater. Okay. Shout out Tone. One Bill Tone. And I'm not trying to just be a hater, but it's just like we need to correct the fucking narrative. Like we've tested this. When most people Google shit and they just get an AI overview. Right? So the Observer put out a fucking article that was cherry picking data. And then I went to Google and I looked up more general, not more general, but because Dave Meltzer cherry picked like the last 3 months. They're up in fucking Google searches. Dynamite is. And it's like, well, yeah, it's all in season. Redemption had their lowest trends on Google. So yes, they're going to be up over the last 3 months. Nobody's given a fuck about most of this shit the last 3 months. So, especially compared to All In, which is their WrestleMania level show, and they're in the WrestleMania equivalent in comparison, in context to whatever level AEW's at, because some people are starting to get triggered now too when I call it their WrestleMania event, but it's their marquee event, okay? So you need to point this out because Dave Meltzer and these fucking aggregators have flooded the fucking AI, the Google, when you search shit up. For 50 years, Dave Meltzer's flooded shit with his narrative and these co-opted dirt sheet, Sports Illustrated bullshit, John Alba fucking narratives. The last 7 fucking years, we got to hear about AEW making money, making $3.6 million every year, hand over fist making money. But meanwhile, Tone's own quotes are, we'll hopefully make money this year, hopefully be profitable. That's what he said. That's what he said. But now you're over there saying what you say. That's what I say. But, right? And they're just like making shit up about them making so much money. You guys got to understand, I'm happy they did this gate. Awesome. But I say things like, dude, they have not seen a return on investment on most of these wrestlers. Period, dude. If Osprey's drawing their worst Wembley shit ever and he's from the UK, you're paying this guy millions of dollars for almost 10 years is what he signed on for. And he is doing your worst Wembley ticket sales? Whoa, dude. Like, you're not seeing a return on that. And I'm sorry, you're doing 1,900 people in Vegas and you got Osprey, Monet. Who was all on that show? Jericho. They can't do over 2K people. So, yes, I'm happy they're doing the smaller buildings. That's one discussion. Another discussion is, this is what we're talking about. Like, he's inflated. Everybody wants to have these conversations about WWE doesn't want to pay the wrestlers what they're worth. 6 to 7 figures to be a mid-card guy in WWE, depending who you are. You're getting 6 to 7 figures just to be on Raw or SmackDown. And then the top guys are making 6, 7, 8 figures because you might blow up before your contract. You know, you might be making like $750K a year. You're in the top guy picture. You're Trick Williams or something, you know. That's still a lot of money, dude. And no, they're not undermining anyone's value. Tone is overvaluing people. Why is Abaddon begging to get signed by TNA right now? Not begging, but she's throwing her hat. Why? Because the indies aren't going to pay her what Tone was paying her. And she's only getting booked on indies. And I'm not trying to shit on Abaddon. I just put her over, by the way, in TNA news. But this needs to be pointed out. Like, Ricochet, I guarantee you is making like $650 plus a year. And if I'm overvaluating that, then fuck Ricochet. You could have worked Tone at a way more. I don't know what your fucking agents did, or you were saying you negotiated that shit yourself. But he's making like what, $650K a year probably in AEW. Ricochet, dude. And I'm not joking. That's the type of shit. Maybe Tone's not paying that much for Ricochet. Okay, then I don't know what happened. You should negotiate more. But we're talking like, okay, a $600K that doesn't even pay. Like, think about who's all on that show. Moxley is in the millions. Each young buck, according to them, are as individuals getting NBA level contracts. Edge and Christian, what do you think they're paying them? Okada and what the rumors are Tone's paying him. What do you think Darby's getting? What do you think Tone's got to shill out to get Mystico, who's especially in Mexico, who's a big star there? Jericho, who, hey, Jericho's friends with Dave? Fucking, I got buds who were buds with Jericho, and that guy's getting paid allegedly getting paid a lot of fucking money. Allegedly. To be in AEW, dude, like, has been this whole time. Hangman is in the millions. Okay? Monet is one of the highest paid women's wrestlers in all of wrestling right now. Ricochet's on the show. People get mad. Brock Lesnar just comes. Why isn't Roman on every show? Because he fucking draws when he's there. They're paying him shitloads, and you can't blow up the spot, and then other people make more money than they would have if he's there full time all the time. Then people, and they're paying him what they're paying or what they would have to pay him to be there all the time, more people are going to get paid less. It's a healthy balance in WWE, and fucking Punk's taking less money in WWE than he was in AEW. Vaquer took less money. Jade took less money because you're going to make more in the long run. You're going to make more in merch, and you're going to have more opportunities presented to you. You're going to become mainstream to a more mainstream wrestling audience. And people can cope and go, wrestling's not mainstream. It is. WWE's mainstream. Everybody knows. You can walk up to anybody and go, the WWE, and they know what that is. Now, you don't have your Rocks and Austins the way you used to, and John Cena's the way you, but more people know who the fuck Roman Reigns is than if I walked up and went, hey, you know Edge? You know Will Ospreay? And I'm not trying to diminish anybody, but it's just the reality. If I go up and go, hey, you know UFC? People understand what UFC is more than they know. Hey, do you know MMA? More people just know, like, have a concept of what UFC is. Hey, do you know WWE? Everybody in the world has a concept of what WWE is if you say it, okay? They at least have some understanding of what you're talking about wrestling, right? Like, everybody knows. Yes, there's less Hulk Hogan's and shit. Absolutely. But, like, you're paying these guys more than they would get in the Fed, which is the top global, whatever the fuck, bringing in hundreds of millions, who are paying people tons of money right now. Everybody's getting paid. And Tone is bringing in, doing a $600K gate. It's one of the best in AEW history. I would be impressed. 7 years ago, I'd be impressed. I'd go, holy shit, dude, look at this. But even when the Observer flex, so again, WWE goes out there and goes, man, you guys are a part of the largest gate in WWE history. Round of applause for yourselves, and the crowd cheers, and everyone's like, most disgusting promotional tactic, Fed slop. Oh, you're just corpo slop. Corpo tards, man. Okay, but then what about when Tony Khan goes out there and makes the crowd chant pay-per-view, pay-per-view? He makes them chant that. What about when Dave Meltzer, and every single time AEW does $600K or $1 million gate, they go, oh, $1.5 million gate. Danielson gets paid double that than to just do nothing now, to be behind the scenes and get retired due to injuries and get metal rods put in his arm and not even be able to do commentary because the vertigo or whatever the fuck fucks his brain up with the people cheering in the background, where he gets irritable because the fucking headaches from getting concussed so many fucking times and being reckless in AEW. So, like, I'm not impressed by that, you know? Like, this is where the record needs to be corrected. And it's not that they shouldn't be put over for it, but if we're going to put them over for this, then you have to concede all the other shit, or else there's no reason to put them over for this, you know? You got to just go, yep, Tone's way overpaying, but fuck it, we get my matches. But sickos want it both ways, and these dirt sheets want it both ways. Nope, it's the best, and they're not overpaying, and Tone's not a money mark, and you're just a Fed shill if you think otherwise. But and their corpo slop, when they announce their gates, it's disgusting promotional tactics. But when AEW does it, we have to all cheer and applaud them, or else you're just an e-drone e-bot. Fuck that, man. I'm not conforming like that. That's bullshit. So we get into this next story, and this is pretty crazy, and we'll call this little segment within a segment, You Fucking March. Because what happened here was this Justice girl. I'm assuming it's a girl. She has a girl profile pic, Justice or Justine or whatever with an X, Justice, I don't fucking know. Sounds girly. At Justix with an X, 26 on X. A lot of X's here. A very XXX rated PWT. So she posted this Photoshop or an AI. I assume she just used AI to make this. Maybe not. Order now off Shop AEW. Link out bio. Link in bio is what she tried to say. And so MJF said in the most EC3 way possible, he goes, look, bud. Look, bud. I'm the one true champion, bud. So then people online were like, yeah, one true champion, OTC, OTC. And now here's the thing. MJF trolls and works people up, and it is cringe as fuck. So he's stupid for doing this because so many people in AEW have just cringed and douche-chilled everybody up by just coping and frothing and wriggling around like a fucking fish out in the sun over WWE. And MJF's whole gimmick is, for years now, I'm going to parody the Bret Hart thing, bud. I'm going to bring up Bruce Pritchard, bud. I'm going to go viral for meeting up with John Cena on a movie set, buddy. I'm going to fucking call myself one true champion of the OTC or whatever. And right now they're fucking up MJF's booking because Tone. Now MJF does that because he knows he's going to go viral, but Tone's fucking up because they're doing the whole. And MJF, you got to be smarter. Now I know deep down in his soul, okay, I know why he got that all-in tattoo on his leg, that ugly tattoo that people think isn't even a real tattoo on his leg, where nobody can see that shit. And I know why he does the whole, I'm going to make fun of WWE. He's got an angle in his back pocket. He's going to be in WWE one day, and people are going to be like, man, I don't want to see his blatant rehash of what he used to do and da-da-da. He's got an angle he's cooking up where he's going to show up there and shit on everything WWE. That's how he's going to get his heat. He's going to keep shitting on everything he's done or everything WWE's done, rather, over the last however many years till he showed up. And obviously, Tony McCon, there's a possibility he just stays in AEW forever until they're about to enter into like a weird TNA phase where they're on like My AEW and like streaming on Amazon Prime, and then people just stop giving a fuck as much, and then the cope and lies over the numbers aren't going to be there. And, you know, it's just going to lose momentum, and they're going to enter like a weird TNA era where like we still talk about AEW and, you know, it's cool. They got ex-WWE guys over there or whatever, but it's more like, you know, when Kurt Angle was in, you know, there was an era where like Kurt Angle and Lashley and some of these guys were over there in TNA, but it was like, whatever, you're not tuning in, week out, and you stay up on what they're doing. And if you're a true hardcore wrestling fan, you know who Moose is, you know who EC3 is, but you don't really, TNA's like, whatever. Oh, Cody Rhodes, cool. Yeah, I might check that out, I guess. You know, and then something like the Broken Universe happens, then people start tuning in. Right now, TNA's hot. AEW, I think, is going to enter that era soon, where it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, I mean, Edge and Christian are over there. Lashley's over there. Cool. You know, fucking MJF's over there. Yeah, I'll check him out. His segments will kind of go viral. Some of the botches and blunders, just like TNA. They would botch and blunder, and people would clip it and go, what's going on in TNA? And then you'd have TNA holes going, actually, if you just watch the show, it's a really good show, but nobody's watching, but they're actually doing good stuff. That's the era TNA is going to enter, or AEW is going to enter into in the next few years here. That's my prediction, where it just gets kind of obscure. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some network gives them a fucking deal and they blow up the spot and they do incredible numbers, but it's just going to be a lot of cope happening in the next few years when it comes to AEW. Now, MJF inevitably, I say that to say he will, once it enters that era, we're going to see him enter a phase in his life where the money doesn't matter either. Now, Tone, I think, will give him more money than he could ever dream up front. Here's the thing with Tone. You get upfront money, but long-term, no legacy, no way less opportunity, all of these sorts of things, right? Whereas in WWE, you get less money up front, but then you have potential to make way more money, way more opportunity, way more fame, and these sorts of things, right? Less job security, but again, that's the risk you take. Are you about it or not? That's embracing the grind, okay? industry plants when Conrad's like, oh, Roman's an industry, or he goes, oh, come on now, Eric, Roman's an industry plant, when everyone in wrestling is an industry plant. But it's the opposite. Like, people in AEW who have inflated senses, like, you know, you see a guy at the top and you're like, well, they don't draw and they don't really have charisma and they're getting paid how much? Like, Ospreay isn't drawing. None of his shit's really working. I'm sorry. Like, people can cope about Kenny Ospreay sold more tickets. Nope, it was the 50% off deal. You can just look this stuff up, right? And that's the problem. Like, Observer flood the observers and shit. They flood the algorithm. So you see these guys and you're like, well, why are they getting shoved down my throat when they're not really over? They're just getting paid a shitload of money, but they can't even draw 2,000 people. It doesn't really make sense. That's way more industry plant than Roman Reigns, his name was Leaky. His name was Leaky, and then at one point he got dog food dumped all over him, and he grinded his whole way all the way up to being the tippy top guy. I don't know, man. I think that's, look at a Finn Balor. Is that an industry plant? I don't really understand how you even say that. An industry plant's like someone who's not over, who doesn't even really appeal to the masses, but they have this fake facade and they're just all of a sudden have 1 million followers and fan accounts. And all of a sudden their music's getting marketed everywhere. And it turns out they come from like a super rich family that have connections with. That's fucking industry plant. So that's like Tone. It's a super rich guy going, you're a star now. Here's just a bunch of money and I have a bunch of money. So now we're on TBS. That's industry plant, if anything. But everyone in wrestling is an industry plant, because that's just like literally how you get people over. You have to market the fuck out of them, come up with a character, come up with storylines to kind of you have to make people care about everybody. Right? So they're all industry plants. Anyways, I digress on that. But MJF will get paid tons of money to stay in AEW. I think, though, he will come to a point, because he's created these opportunities for himself. He's in Violent Night 2. He's in Happy Gilmore 2. He's like the king of bad sequels. No, I'm joking. He's in Iron Claw. He executive produced that. He's making his own nest egg in Hollywood as it is. So he's going to come over with that appeal already. And he's going to work this whole angle in WWE where that's how he's going to get heat. He's going to shit on the fans. He's going to shit on everything they like. He's going to be like, how come I made more money than all your fucking stars and I was wrestling in the Bush leagues or whatever? Because that's how big and important I am. I'm in Hollywood movies. I don't need your fucking machine. I'm above it all, da-da-da. That's going to be the angle he works, and he's going to get away from the whole, you're a geek with a small dick, bud. He's not going to have to splash drinks on kids to get fucking heat, and he's not going to have to do douchey shit that doesn't make sense. But the fucking AEW sycophants and Dave Meltzer eat it up and go, it's just so complex, Brian. Eating up, MJF going, I'm the true champion, the one true champion. Well, no, Kenny beat you. It wasn't even a fuck finish. So you just got beat. If you guys wanted to tell this story where he's still carrying around the Burberry and he thinks he's the true champion, then Kenny should have been a fuck finish where Kenny gets the win. And then MJF is like, no, I'm still the champ and I was fucked out of the title and all of this. But there's none of that. Kenny just won the belt and then moved on to the next guy who proved he's the number one contender through winning a tournament. So MJF's next in line, but he's going to go, I'm the true champ, bud. Doesn't even make sense. And then he's going to win the Casino Gauntlet, cash in it all in, and then leave with the belt or something. I think that's what they have planned for MJF. Just Tone doesn't know how to tell a story or book a match, or, it's just a stip, Brian. He puts hats on hats all the time with the stipulations. He thinks that the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal is where you cap off an Andrade MJF feud. They're the first two entrants in a fucking 20-man gauntlet or whatever. Like, it's dumb shit. And MJF's unfortunately wrapped up in all of that. Now, his gimmick, again, as I said, is like alluding to the WWE shit, because I believe he's going there, but also he's leaning into the sickos eat this shit up. They just eat it up. They love it. It's all they care about is when you talk about WWE. So that's what he does. We've proven this time and time again. AEW wrestlers only go viral for their clips, and they go on these shows that do them a disservice. If Will Ospreay came on my show, No, that's a bad example because I would have to be like, but you are like clearly coping about, well, not coping, but like you're clearly upset about Triple H. Like that clearly eats at you, right? Clearly, I would have to ask him that. But if one of these dudes came on my fucking show, we don't need to talk about WWE. And I'm not asking anybody to, but like all these people they give interviews to, nobody watches their shit and they just go, unless it's like Barstool or whatever the fuck, and they just talk about WWE, then that gets clipped and that's all anybody cares about. That's all anybody cares about is when AEW wrestlers do interviews and talk about WWE. MJF knows that. He leans into it. He knows it enrages the wackos too. And it's like when Triple H goes, tonight is the biggest night ever. And then everyone's like, how is it and then they melt down. He knows what he's doing. It's the same with MJF. So if you're a WWE fan, I get it. You're like, oh, fuck this guy. He's a mark. He's just doing this to, like it's stupid that he keeps bringing up fucking WWE's coping and shit. MJF's not coping and shit. He's making so much fucking money. He's making his own legacy. He's doing the right thing. I've suggested to every wrestler, go to AEW when you're young. AEW is really good when you're like an old, like gonna retire guy, or when you're really young in the game. Get some reps in, work some veterans, help set up the ring, get some TV reps in. Try not to get any on you. Pad your bank account, live cheaply, and start getting Tone's connects. Like, chum up to Tone a bit, and not even that is disingenuous. Just be nice to Tone and see who his connects are and talk to them, and talk to other wrestlers who've been in the game. And oh, these celebrities are fucking here for this show. That Tone's Freddie Prinze is here. Let me talk to this guy. What are you working on, Netflix? Yeah, I'm really looking for movie roles. There's no shame in trying, right? There's no shame in like, hey, I'm going to fucking use that to your advantage. MJF did that. He's not using the WWE machine to get in movies, to get in the Scorpion King. He's out there executive producing and getting in Violent Night 2 and these sorts of things. So I put him over for that, and he knows what he's doing. So one day the money's not going to matter to the kid because he's stacked it all up and piled it all up, and he's going to want to go to WWE. And it doesn't matter if Tone offers him $50 million. He's going to go, I need to go to WWE. That's going to happen one day. So this all matters, what I'm saying, leading up to this shirt thing. So the one true champion, this lady here, Justix, she makes this shirt, and it says OTC, one true champion. And in the bottom, she clearly photoshopped in or AI'd in, not available at shopaew.com, and then she watermarked it. Now, this is funny, okay? This is just a funny bit. So many people pun intended. Oh, I'm funny. I'm a funny guy now. Bit on this and got super worked up over this. And yes, it is cringe what MJF's doing, but guys, again, everyone's like, you're just you just hate on AEW. I don't. I'm putting MJF over here. I'm trying to break down the psychology behind the character / gimmick he's playing and why he just leans into the shit he leans into. You can be mad at it if you want. I appreciate it for what it is, okay? So MJF and AEW never made this shirt. She clearly made it as a joke. It's fucking funny. And if you don't think it's funny, too bad. So sad. A bunch of people bid on this and thought this was real. Oh, well, are they dumb fuck idiots who should fucking die? Like some of the comments you see in response. No, they're not. Okay. Yesterday, I thought Zilla Fatu's brother was Zilla Fatu because they look similar. You just laugh it off and go, oh, well, I'm a dumb fuck. Haha. And then you just move on. Who gives a shit, And also, she didn't even like make a mistake or do anything like this. And the people who didn't see the not available at shop, who gives a fuck? Who cares? But yes, is there some tribalism that goes into people just seeing shit at first glance, not really looking at the not available at shop AEW? Yes, absolutely. People just scroll, see shit in passing and go, huh, what the fuck? And then, you might react to it. Now, people got to be not so quick to just react to things, think things through, we're all guilty of it, but just some of the responses to this lady, I'm assuming is a lady, and some of the people who reacted to this, and some of the people who reacted to this did go full wacko mode, and they were just like, fuck MJF and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, okay, well, it says not available at Shop AEW. But I mean, again, like I said, you know, who cares? Who gives a fuck? You can't get hung up, and it is what it is. So wackos do better if not, but the wackos have intensified because of the sickos. They really have in the last like little year or so. I'd say it's really intensified on the wacko end. That's all good. Shout out the wackos and the sickos and the TNA holes. You guys need love too. I'm one of you. I'm one of all of you. No, but it says not available at Shop AEW. So this is just funny. Right. And so some of the responses are people believing this real when you put a big not available at AEW.com. There's no way there are that many people that believe this is real. A lot of people believe this was real, you know? And then people were posting this, the MJF and the MFT font. They like kind of copied it for the MFT. Now, yes, this is, but here's the thing, like this guy going, it'd be full circle. No, it's cringe. Like neither company should be doing shit like this. Generic, like old English font or whatever you want to call this font. Maybe someone made this. Maybe it's not generic, but I'm positive I've seen font like this in other places. R.I.P. Tats and old English. La, la, let's smoking on that chronic, drinking old English. Let's go. Here's the thing though, right? Like both companies shouldn't be like, if WWE wasn't aware of this, then it's still hack. Like you can go, that's hack. Is it the exact same? No. Did they try to rip it off? Maybe they didn't know. But this just generic like 2K font. Like when you play NHL, fucking EA NHL, they have this font. You can put it on a hockey jersey, you know. MJF literally has YouTube music. That's his theme, is just a generic YouTube song. Anyone can use his music. Maybe Tone bought the rights to it. I don't know. That's possible, but there are YouTube videos that used his music before in the past, like big YouTube channels, because it's just generic music. The Hardy Boys theme is like that. So cope over it as you may. But yeah, she shouldn't have gotten heat for this. And MJF actually piped in and he goes, he wrote this. Well, first let's read. So this lady here goes, my final thoughts about the MJF One True Champion incident. Wanted to, and people are too online. Like, lady, you don't need to fucking come on the internet and then do a press statement like you're anything other than just a mother. And like, you're a human. You have life. Your life has value, damn it. Obviously, I don't mean in that way, but like on Twitter, no one cares. Just be like, whatever, it was a joke. You fuckers didn't get it. Move on. They make a press statement. It's like the Brock Lesnar guy. You got marks being marks for themselves in 2026.
You are a naive, brainless, pathetic, idiotic, clueless, dumbass mark.
And so they go, I think it's pretty silly to go with that phrase. WWE have the trademark and you can't stop people from abbreviating it as OTC. And I don't think it can be used for merch. So unless it's MJF and the creative team's full intentions, it's better to tweaks. I'm truly sorry for creating the fake merch design. In fact, it was me deciding to not learn the lesson and thinking it's just a harmless, silly idea. Hey, it's a harmless, silly idea. And anybody who doesn't agree can kiss balls.
Emotional damage.
Like it's a joke. People got to quit being so fucking sensitive. WWE fans, you're stooping to sicko level, being sensitive over this shit. Don't do that. So to not learn the lesson and thinking it's just a harmless, silly idea, which probably a lot is already pitched during the show, though I wish to take full responsibility of making a joke online. Oh my God, for this, which probably damages some bit of AEW's reputation. No, it doesn't. No one knows who you are. I'm disappointed with how the majority of this community has acted seeing the image. Me too. Some people thought it's real and demanded C&D from WWE. This part, I find it crazy because it's in very simple English unless you can't read it all. And the tweet can be auto-translated and will turn out to be reversed of the normal. Maybe it's how the same as how society. This is how they're talking. This is not me being dyslexic. Maybe it's how the same as how a society and politics work. But the worst is that some people decide to crop the not available part to hide the evidence. And it eventually reached MJF instead of mine. Zero shame in spreading misinformation. Just pure engagement bait. No, some people just saw it and didn't see. Like I saw my pal JJ Alexander, shout him out. He posted it and reacted and was like, oh, this guy's a hack. And his picture clearly, the screen grab he had clearly had the not available at AEW shop. Like, it's okay. Again, like I said, I thought Zilla's brother was Zilla. You laugh and go, oh, fuck, I'm dumb. It happens, dude. Like, we're all fucking looking. I'm looking at two. Sometimes when wrestling shows are going head to head, I'm looking at like 3 fucking screens, glancing all around, trying to look at chat, doing my bits and shit. People fuck up. It's not a big deal, dude. Like, who cares? And this was a harmless joke. But she gives this long press statement. Who gives a fuck? Okay, you guys get the gist. She's just like, ugh. So then MJF goes, oh my God, bud. The fact this poor person had to put out a statement literally is insane. Everyone put your fucking phone down and go touch grass, bud. The one true champion has spoken. And then this person responds here and goes, thank you, my true champion. Whoever's God. And then they're kayfabing back and forth. You fucking marks, dude. Oh my goodness. He goes, everyone put your fucking phone down and go touch grass, bud. Oh, yeah. So then Justine goes, thank you, my true champion. Whoever's wrestling in that London main event are frauds, by the way. Please win that belt as well. And then he goes, ew, don't talk to me. And then the fucking, what's his name from Incredibles? The Syndrome or whatever his name is. And then, this guy goes, it's truly embarrassing being a wrestling fan sometimes. It was a joke and really not that deep, yet I guess people are too dumb and miserable to understand otherwise. You have to put out a statement over the post. It's quite sad. Yeah, and the same people, like you've seen online, some of the same people getting upset by this shit are some of the same people who swept the MJF MF t-shirt under the rug, which they all should be swept under the rug because it's stupid. Who cares? And then some people got mad at MJF and they were like, oh, did you really have to call her poor or whatever? Let me see. You don't talk to me. I think it's funny, dude. I like heel trolling. You guys know this. I like when people just use social media to keep their gimmick alive. I appreciate that more than I'd rather see Undertaker just be the dead man than fucking do podcasts with his wife. That's just me personally. Maybe I'm old school. I don't know. But why are you making fun of her for being poor? Come on, man. Nothing. Yeah. When he said poor person, he meant with your broke ass. This is the Dave Chappelle sketch where black people get reparations. It's so funny. I'm rich, biatch. With your broke ass. Oh my God. And then Chappelle, he's like, what's the news broadcast? I'm Chuck Taylor or whatever he called the news broadcaster. And he's in whiteface, dude. It's some of the funniest shit of all time. But there you go. So there's the stolen t-shirt debacle, it getting exposed as being fake. And again, I'm fairly neutral on this. And yes, things can be true. People can be dumb as fuck online, and also you're allowed to make jokes regardless if people get triggered by it. And also MJF and leaning into the WWE shit is cringe. Absolutely. And their fans eat it up. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, it's cringe, but there are people who eat it up, and he's getting paid millions to be there, so he knows Tone wants to cater to those fans, so he's going to cater to those fans. And then if he makes it in WWE, that's a whole other test. He's going to have to test himself. Right? But I get why he's doing it, and you can fucking love it or hate it, but you're supposed to hate MJF. You're supposed to. Is the cringe WWE should have turned off? Yes, but he's also real. You think he's so dumb he doesn't realize that when he goes out there and says, "We're up year over year, bud"? You don't think he knows that that is just not true? Okay, he is straight fucking gimmick. MJF is just a living gimmick. So when he goes out there and goes, "Yeah, we're up year over year," like, you can't even take anything he ever says serious. Ever, you know? So it's kind of funny. And I get what he's doing. Both things can be true. It can be cringe, but that can also be how he gets heat and get people talking about him online. And you're allowed to make jokes, you know? And that's why it's funny that she did this. And yes, it also highlights how AEW leaning into WWE shit is whack. It does all of those things, right? So that, ladies and gentlemen, Ichi Nissan for AEW news. That was AEW news, folks.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Okay, so SmackDown's rolling along. Let me know what you guys think about SmackDown thus far. So we have some dirt sheet fails up next, which are pretty funny. Involving Matt Hardy as well. The knees were up. Jane's going to get it or what? Chelsea's out there managing her ass off tonight. It's okay. Punk and KO is the best part. Yeah, that was good. I was talking over their promo. I will go back and listen to it, or I'll check it out on X later or whatever. But I definitely heard that shit was heating up, and I could see the tenacity between the two. SmackDown's good. Tiffy just splatted JC with the Swanton. Yeah, I wonder if JC pulls it off here. You got to think Fatal Influence get draped in gold. At some point. Oh, she's distracted with the outside people. Here we go. Shout out, chat. Thank you guys for being here. A random Friday show. Very random. Make sure you guys promote the replay of it tomorrow, or when I'm sure people will tune in and be like, "Where the fuck is Phil?" There you go. JC Jane dripped in gold. JC Jane dripping in gold, along with Fatal Influence. And then we'll get Tiffy, Chelsea down the line, I'm sure. Maybe they go after the tag belts. You knew this was coming. Like, you could see this a mile away before the other two even won the tag belts. And they're a net positive, for SmackDown, in my opinion. And now here's the baddies.
Things have been tumultuous between yourself and Charlotte Flair, but how does Alexa Bliss returning and Tatum Paxley debuting on SmackDown change how you approach this?
You know what I find funny? For some reason, these women can't mind their damn business. First Alexa, then Charlotte.
Okay, so Jade's talking shit.
What Jade is trying to say is all Charlotte and Alexa did was give us another victim. We're looking forward to getting the proper welcome to our show.
Okay, guys. Let's get into some shit here. We got Rhodes coming out. And he's getting ready to grapple. He's grappling tonight, folks. Okay. So this will be the main event, no? And I mean, it's not going to get a lot of time. That's for goddamn sure. We're a minute past, we're right away to the top of the hour. So, and they're running to an ad. So this is going to be like a 5 fucking minute match. You know? Okay, advertisements. Let's get into this next segment, shall we? Guys, hit like, share the video, all of this good stuff. Hype it if you're watching on replay. If this is Saturday and a bunch of you were tuned in watching the replay, hype the video. You get 3 free hypes a week. Hype that shit up. I don't even know if YouTube really fucks with that anymore, but it was something they tried to roll out, and I don't know if people are really I don't know, right? We try it. We try all the new stuff here at PWT. Try anything once. And that's a whole thing. So they're rolling back on some features. They're getting rid of features. They're changing the way they operate shorts entirely and stuff like that too, which is crazy as far as like how they get pushed and dislikes on shorts and how they monetize them and all this stuff. YouTube's doing this big overhaul of how people get monetized and things like this. So show your support for the show. Appreciate you guys. And check out patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes or gift a membership to someone. Check out the Member Monday shows. That's always nice to do. Okay, so yes, I have this pulled up at the right spot here as we get into my new favorite segment, and it is called Chris Jericho, Good Girl Gone Bad. It is time for Dirt Sheet Fails. So, friend of the show, not really, but Matt Hardy, who follows PWT, as you see there, and likes a few of my tweets here and there. I'll let you guys guess which ones. But he got into a beef with this guy named Joel Pearl, who I believe has me blocked and works for Fightful Overbooked. Okay? Now, if you guys don't know, everyone Fightful's got me blocked. I've blocked them. I've had it out with Sap multiple times. He's blocked, unblocked me. I don't fucking know. I just keep all of Fightful people. I don't have this guy blocked, but he's got me blocked. I'm not surprised, motherfucker. You know, that's kind of how it goes. But this Joel Pearl gentleman, who I'm not familiar with at all. Okay, works for Fightful Overbooked. And he said some shit, and it turned into Matt Hardy calling this fool out. So now Phil Hardy, I'm an official Hardy, dude. Look, he follows me, okay? So Phil Hardy is going to have to come off the top rope on a motherfucker with this one. And this happened a while ago, man. But Joe Pearl says, he listened to my post shows and heard my thoughts on the build and match itself. It's his art to defend, but it's subjective art. And I thought it was, at best, a nostalgia party. So this was him shitting on, I think, the Dudleys and the Hardys. And then Uncle Whiskey Bear goes, not actually addressing Matt Hardy or addressing his question directly as pussy shit. I think I have it bookmarked later, but Matt Hardy goes, "You're not wrong. Thanks for the heads up." Right? And I think I have something else. We're kind of jumping all over the place, but what happened? This started, it's all over the place, guys. Okay. I mean, can you blame me? It's fucking X. You never know where these things begin. So yeah, this guy goes, last year's Bound for Glory was literally built around, this is where this all stems from, was literally built around stupid Hardys versus Dudley's match. It was announced first and built more than the world title match. It wasn't the last match, but if you were in the crowd and saw how many left after, you'd think the show ended after it. Right? And this is just cope over Raj saying, what major company really does care about the tag division? When was the last time a major AEW or TNA pay-per-view was headline a tag title match? Whatever. And so Joe Pearl is like, the Hardys was the headline, but it wasn't technically. So that's the problem. You're already starting the argument off on a fallacy. You're just going, well, this was the headline, the whole marketing, but it wasn't. The headline match was the headline match. It's like when WWE goes, oh, we had a double main event. Here's one main event to start the show and then one to end the show. No, it's not really how it works. You know? So Matt Hardy goes, what exactly was the Hardys versus Dudley's match at BFG stupid, Joel? Should I do it all as broken, Matt? Oh my God. Interesting choice of adjective. Please explain why the match that filled the venue was stupid. And then Slade goes, pay the trolls no mind, Matt. Everyone knows it was an awesome match with great storytelling. It really was. It really was. And they got more out of Devon than I thought we were going to get from Devon. And so Matt Hardy goes, this is someone who actually works at Fightful. I'd love to hear his reasoning for his choice of adjective. I take great pride in myself and Jeff's work, and it's an offensive description of the magic and emotion we created on that night. And it's true, man. But that's the problem. The sickos, just like the hacktivists, infiltrated like fucking nerd culture. You get a bunch of people who are just like LARPing as nerds to push like their political and societal fucking agendas that they have, and their self-inserts and their fucking, we saw it happen for years. It fucking ruined video games. It's ruined a lot of movies. It ruined a lot of the fucking, television industry and stuff like this. It's ruined all forms of entertainment, and it's ruined journalism, especially where everything's tribalist, and it made everything like you have to, everybody's ist or obic, and you can't fucking, it's and now it's like cringe to complain about it's woke or like it's cancel culture, man. It's like cringe. It's like, okay, everybody's over this. The world's healing. Pepe Le Pew's back, bitch. Get over it, okay? We're done. Everybody stop your extreme, other than the WNBA. They can't seem to figure their shit out over there. But otherwise, everybody else I think is on course to a sense of fucking normality again, okay? The problem is that you get all these fucking activisty, like this is who the Observer hires. The people who are like, my dream is to work for Fightful, or like, I'm going to work at fucking, I'm going to work for this dirt sheet. It's like, okay, you might as well just create your own thing. But most of these people can't create their own thing. They're fucking hacks. So they just, they all lump themselves together, and then they fucking do like a team build-up thing, and then or they join like something that's already established, and then they, instead of doing like real journalism or creating their own fucking superhero character or whatever, they fucking just like preach at people and do shitty journalism. And they're in pro wrestling, for instance, like the stupid Hardys versus whatever. So he's sitting there trying to go, like this Joel Pearl guy, he's literally sitting there trying to go, actually, like he's trying to preach to Raj and then virtue signal to his audience that are sickos who have to be anti-TNA over at Fightful, right? The stupid Hardys versus Dudley match. It's so fucking dumb. And it's like you're putting the match over to Raj to win one fucking argument with Raj, but then you're calling it stupid to like save face with the people who have to be, because that the people who read your shit are anti-TNA right now and shit. That's all it is. And people can just smell this bullshit a mile away. They see through it. And Matt Hardy is like, why would you call my stuff stupid? Doesn't even make sense to do that, And that happened in media too. I call it hacktivism. You get all these fucking hacktivists that infiltrate every outlet of fucking whatever, So Matt, people respond and jump to his defense, and Bully Ray, of course, did as well. And this is pre-WWE radio. So Bully Ray goes, Matt, tell this guy to give me a call on Busted Open Radio on Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. noon, so he can tell me why our match was stupid. And then, again, this dude's like, he won't. These guys are feckless soy boy losers. There's nothing worse than Fightful in the wrestling media landscape. Not a DL of testosterone anywhere to be found. I don't have to be psychic to tell you won't have a call. Yeah, it's just like people... It's just that his audience and who he writes for, he's not writing to be a Fightful journalist. He's writing to be a guy who can pat himself on the back and put himself over. It's why it's Phil Marks. They're Phil Marksing, damn it. That's I'm over here now. Hickory dickory dock. Oh, I'm a gimmick. So Matt Hardy here drops a video. And let's take a listen.
Hello, Joel. Matt Hardy here. Don't you worry. I'm going to make sure you see this video.
He challenges him to Fightful deletion. Overbooked deletion match. Yes.
So I had asked you a question. Why exactly was the match between the Hardys and the Dudleys stupid at Bound for Glory 2025? I would love to get an answer. Instead, I actually ended up getting a tweet that someone else added me in and stooge you off, saying
he's a stooge,
that he had listened to my post shows and he knows my thoughts and whatever, and said it was at best nostalgia. Wasn't a fan of the build, or wasn't whatever.
Well, this guy talked even more shit than just that tweet, according to Matt. And there you go.
Whatever it was. I can tell you there are a couple of times I have clicked on.
So it's this stupid, dumb match that the guy was coping and seething over. But then all of a sudden, when he wants his cake and eat it too, he goes, well, actually, it drew a bunch and it's the tag wrestling and it was a stupid match, though. Okay.
Your post-show
crying about everything
reviews of TNA, whatever else. I have looked at it, but I've only stayed in there for a few minutes because it was very, very apparent you were deeply disconnected from what actually makes money, what actually works in pro wrestling. That is something I realized.
I don't care about making money. I'm just a fan. Okay, but all the wrestlers and everybody, that's all they care about. And everybody knows that. And that's all it is about. It's a live entertainment business. They wreck their fucking bodies to make money. That's why they do it. It's why actors, actor, I love to act. I'm an actor. But actors also quit acting when they don't land roles and can't make money fucking acting. That happens all the time too. Because why? You want to make money to do the profession you're good at. That's everybody's dream. So, and also that's the entertainment biz. What makes the most money is doing the best. And it's typically the best shit. That's why it makes the most money.
Immediately as I was watching it. And that's one of the most upsetting things.
Is Taylor Swift the best singer? Can she hit, yes, because most people listen to her shit. Can she hit every octave? No, that's not what makes you the best. Okay, on a technicality, that makes you the best singer, but are you going to tell me Mariah Carey also doesn't have hits? Christina Aguilera didn't write Dirty? Or maybe she didn't write it, but she didn't have Dirty, bitch. You know what I mean? She didn't do Genie in a Bottle. Motherfucker, those are hits. I don't know what to tell you. Genie in a Bottle isn't about hitting all the fucking, It's about, I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way. It's just a fucking, you can just sing along to that shit. You know what I mean? That's what makes a hit. So I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, is that the best? Yeah, I think so. I think that's the best. I don't know. More people know who she is than the chick in your fucking church choir. I don't know what to tell you.
Me, when people who work for Fightful and they have a large platform that listens to them, sometimes they don't understand that. They don't understand why things are being done. And especially when something comes off successful, much like our match did, where we had 3 50-year-olds and a young baby, 48-year-old Brother Nero in there. We went out there and we killed it. Because even if it wasn't your cup of tea, there is a huge segment of the audience, casual fans, TNA fans, that love that match. I have probably been told 15 times since that match happened that is someone's favorite match of their entire life. It's their favorite wrestling match of all time because it was so emotional. And that is one thing that we focus on in pro wrestling, especially when you get it and you understand how to make money and how to get over and how to get connected with people. It's that emotional investment. And that night, that is the match that sold the tickets that filled that venue up. That is the match that had everyone on their feet from beginning to end. That is the match that had people crying.
So, do you see what Matt Hardy's problem is? He's like, how do you look at all of this? And even just when he's saying here, just that is the match that brought the people in. That is the match that which that other Joel guy admits, but it was stupid. Why was it stupid? It's because you're tard angry, because you get angry at successful wrestling, because you want wrestling to be, your idea of it is like Garcia and Yuta and Cassidy and the people who give you interviews and people doing flips, I'm sure. I don't know anything about this guy other than he's clearly just a fucking hater.
Whenever Team 3D retired that night. And that's a win. That is a win. And if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. And you can be subjective. It wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't my thing. But to call it stupid is quite a stretch. And you have an obligation as a journalist to have journalistic integrity. And I think that does not line up calling something stupid when you have to understand there is a huge portion and segment of the audience that loved that match. Anyway, with that being said, I would still love to know.
With that being said, I challenge you to deletion.
Tell me why exactly, in great detail, if you would. Why was our match stupid? Because I'd really like to know. I would really like to hear a legitimate response to that. Thanks, and have a great day.
Yeah, he can't give a response because what he said was stupid, and it's like a weird projection thing where there's no logical explanation to anything. And it doesn't make sense because the guy thought it was so stupid, but then wants to use it as an example of, well, people left the building when it was done. So, and TNA pushes tag team seriously, even though I fucking hate that they did that. You know, it's just like, don't have an opinion if it's just going to be like dumb, you know, just openly dumb like that. And you know it is. So, hey, Joel Pearl, call into Busted Open on Tuesday and explain and justify to Bully Ray why our match was stupid. Choosing to use this derogatory adjective requires an explanation or a retraction. You have influence because you represent Fightful. Be better. And again, when you decide to go, I'm a news hound now, and whatnot, your opinion slash or you work for one of these publications, the whole point of being a reporter slash journalist is you want to be fair, balanced, and honest. Media, these people don't understand this anymore in any aspect of media. In any aspect. Movies, fucking anything. People have just thrown that out the window entirely. And so they can't defend their opinions on this. And it triggers Matt Hardy because he's like, well, why would you also say it's stupid? Right? Because now when you Google shit, Fightful, whatever writer wrote, this was stupid and trashed it the whole fucking time because that's what comes up, especially in the day and age of AI overview. Now, is that Fightful's responsibility and shit? No, it's not. But I definitely agree with Matt Hardy. And this dude got destroyed. Let's do some more dirt sheet fails here, shall we? So, John Alba had this to say, who works with Matt Hardy. And he goes, with AEW very likely set to bring in Kofi Creed and maybe even Motor City, it doesn't really need another team. But with that said, a reunion of Claudio and Sheamus would give the company a bruiser tag team it doesn't really actively have right now. Could add a nice dynamic. Bro, you have Hurt Business that they don't use. You have fucking Doyle and Davis. That's what Matthew Raywold says here. Doyle and Davis, do they have them? Yes, but they haven't wrestled a tag match together since January. Okay, so you want Tone to spend $1 million on fucking Sheamus a year to come in and redo old WWE shit? It's just do it. Actually, just do it. I've been lately on PWT. I've just been encouraging AEW. Just do it. Just rehash old WWE shit. Fuck it. Try and get some WWE fans. What else are you going to do at this point? You know? So we move along here, and Kyle Fletcher says this to Wrestle purists. And Wrestle purists go, this is on a YouTube vlog. And the headline is, Kyle Fletcher says what fans believe to be a recent injury scare was a combination of stress and not eating, drinking enough, and that made him anxious going into beach break. So then they just quote the whole transcript, right, of what Fletcher said. And then he goes, brother, if you gonna try make money off me, at least link the YouTube video. Because it's to his personal YouTube. So they just go in brackets, YouTube vlog. And this is Elbu. This is Elbu. I'm pretty sure Wrestle Purist fucks with Elbu and whatnot. And he's written for them or did. I don't know if he abandoned them to do just the self-made or if this is a side. I don't fucking know. But yeah, all these wrestling aggregators, they all suck. And they're all going to pack it in because X, they are going to start promoting. Now, I'm not monetized on fucking X. I don't have enough followers. So follow me on X. Blue checkmark followers is like how you get verified. But they're going to start rewarding like original content. So I stream to X all the time, and I have for fucking years now. Fucking finally, I'm going to get my big break. No, but like, hopefully I start getting rewarded for doing all this because I don't make a goddamn cent off of X. So the years I've had this blue check and you guys don't like my opinions, they're my opinions, and watch them not change when I get the fucking monetized eventually. Hopefully, Elon, fingers crossed, that they start like paying people for streaming, like doing original content. But just these aggregators, they're fucked. You can't just like copy and paste a transcript. And then they didn't even link his vlog or whatever. So that's shitty. YouTube vlog FFS, like didn't even name his channel, put a link to it, anything like that. So very shitty of them to do that. And these are people who do nothing but glaze AEW, but they're so lazy. Like when Dave's typos are in his work, you can see all the fucking aggregators or dirt sheet accounts that just copy and paste the exact fucking thing with the same typos in there. And it's like, dude, crazy. Like at least do editing. Like if you were going to quote and rip an excerpt like in a magazine, at least back in the day, you would have to fucking edit it, and you would use brackets and shit to edit what people say and to fucking edit any spelling errors and stuff like this. but there's no editing ever in any real fucking, I don't even know if you can consider wrestling publications real or not, but we move along here. And in more epic fail. Again, this happened before SummerSlam, but it's official for SummerSlam. We saw the 6-man tag, Royce Keys, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa versus the Bloodline. And again, Cultaholic and the Wrestling Observer go, Royce Keys versus Gunther is currently planned for SummerSlam. So the reason why they get destroyed, I've explained this a billion times. The whiteboard gets erased, and then whoever the Observer's designated stooge is tells them what they erase off the whiteboard, right? He gets the old whiteboard info, and then he tries to pat himself on the back and go, well, see, the plans do change, and what I was told before was accurate. But really, you're told after that's not the fucking plan, Dave, and this happens a whole bunch. So again, they just fucking epically got that wrong. So Meltzer said what posts in response to the NY post. So Stink City, smelly and proud New Yorkers are ditching deodorant in droves this summer as if we're not suffering enough in this heat. Okay, fuck you if that's what you do. And then Meltzer said, what goes, I blame Bix. And then Bix and Span tweeted this out. Please don't go on the train wearing cologne, perfume, body spray. It's fucking obnoxious. Please don't wear it at all. Nobody who doesn't wear it actually likes it. This is how these people think. Nobody, if you wear cologne, fuck you. Or if you wear deodorant, body spray, nobody likes it. No, dude, you're just like in whatever stinky fucking room you're in with the windows closed and the fucking ramen noodles and Doritos piling up, and you just aren't used to it. You know what I mean? You aren't used to that. That's weird. He's telling people don't wear deodorant because people don't like it. People don't like when people smell good, according to the fucking troglodytes, right? So that's pretty crazy. We have Dirt Sheet fails here. So look at this. And this is Cultaholic and WrestleTix posting this. But the way Cultaholic frames this, and I've been going off on this for a while, 31,325 tickets have now been distributed for AEW at All In. Over 3,000 tickets have moved since Kenny Omega won the AEW World title. And it was announced it would be Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at All In. So that's what they lead with. Tickets have also been discounted in recent weeks. So they didn't say tickets have also been discounted 50% in recent weeks. Any good journalist would lead with what happened first and what has the most significant impact, which you can look up. I looked it up. 3,000 tickets were moved since Kenny Omega won the AEW World title, and that tickets were discounted. It's the same thing. And the tickets were discounted 50% a week before. So that's what a real journalist would look into, and I shouldn't have to do your guys' jobs. But this is what the aggregators do, and this is how the fucking info gets muddied up, and this is why AI will never be fully acceptable and accurate, because it just takes other people's ideas, and other people, look at this, Cultaholic, they're amplifying wrong shit. And yes, Cultaholic's a dirt sheet. They break stories. They go, oh, our sources, bruv. And they fucking get exclusives. And then they aggregate news. So that makes you a news outlet more than you are just an opinion, op-ed thing. But now you have these like op-ed. Everything's so fucked up. You have like, there's websites that go, well, we're just opinion-based news. So you can be like, my opinion is that fucking Robert Downey Jr. is trying to win a fucking award for playing Dr. Doom. And then you can just like run with a story of why it would. And then other outlets can take that and run with that to fucking get outraged and feed into outrage culture. Like, that's just what it is. I'm even doing it. We're over here fucking exposing fake shirts and stuff. You know, you can't hate the player. You got to hate the game. But Cultaholic likes to break stories and stuff, so they're held in higher regard than me, who's like, hey, I'm just a fucking guy. I'm just a mark. I'm a Phil S. Mark, marking out about shit and bearing shit and talking shit and reacting to the news, right? Like, they're going to get more when False Finish HQ are like, Dominic's upset at his shit. But then I come up and on this show and go, Undertaker's upset about his shit, had it out in front of people. They're never going to take what I say seriously. What's going to get taken more seriously is this. And these are the least careful. I feel like, you know, there's people like myself who fucking dive deeper into this shit than these people do. And it's just incredibly unfortunate. So I wrote, notice the difference in phrasing for both companies right now from the Dirt Sheet Hacks. SummerSlam moves tickets after $25 discount. All In moves tickets after Omega vs. Ospreay announced. Meanwhile, All In slashed prices by 50% and WWE finally started announcing matches. So again, the AEW narrative from the sheets is they announced Omega Ospreay. Okay, but for a week before that, they slashed prices by 50%, and the tickets in the last 2 weeks moved in the thousands because of that. People taking advantage of that. They announced a match for All In. Okay, it's in a match everybody knew Ospreay is going to be in the main event. WWE, once they finally started announcing matches, then ticket sales picked up. Then they announced a $25 discount. So why wouldn't you lead with the same thing when it comes to the Fed? Again, it's just like, this is the shit that people are just grown tired of in the media in general. So NYC Demon Diva, who is a streamer, I believe, okay, and streams wrestling. And she goes, in wrestling media, crediting the right source is an impossible task. So again, here's Fightful. They deleted this. Fightful deleted this because they got called out. So Diva Incarnate goes, in wrestling media, crediting the right source is an impossible ask. Unless you're part of some weird media circle jerk, that's what it is. So again, motherfucker, like, if I say some shit, then the Dirt Sheets days later are running with it and it's their most substantial story and this is a fucking comedy show. And it's like, just admit where you heard this. I know people in those circles listen to this fucking show, dude. Admit where you heard this. It's all good. But they don't want to do that. You have to be like in with the fucking, you know, here's the pecking order. And every Dirt Sheet person, Steve Carrier, Sapp, fucking Meltzer, they all say the same thing. I'm the best. I'm the absolute best at this. I do this better than anyone. I'm the absolute best at doing this Dirt Sheet media shit. They all say the same shit. They all do, in publicly and in private, and it's fucking hilarious. Anyways, though, Diva Incarnate goes, unless you're part of some weird media circle jerk, those people credit each other. Anyways, source, it's Joey Carney. He's a Carney. Shout out this guy. Host of Unseen with Joey Carney. Shout him out, man. 15K followers. I don't even know who this guy is. WWE and pro wrestling content creator. There you go. Who actually asked the question to Cena. Right? So there you go. Elboo, he's getting his own. We'll do that another time where we just go after Elboo. No, we don't go after anybody. We go after them with hugs and we go after them with medicine. Okay, we're trying to smarten them up to the biz here. We're trying to show these guys the love. We're trying to give them tough love, tough medicine. Elboo, that's all it is. Don't eat cereal in a paper bowl with a metal spoon and put milk in the paper bowl. Don't do that. That's just insane. I want what's best for you. You're going to get your fucking jeans all soaked and you ain't even watching AEW to do it. So WWE urged to pay for Rhea Ripley's specialized treatment in Colombia. This is what Ringside News reports, right? And then Rhea Ripley goes, first I've heard of this. I can't do a fucking... it's the first I've heard of this. They fucking should for all you prove investment. Bullshit flow thick and fast in here. Bring an umbrella. Okay. Kevin Nash said it himself on Click This. He suggested WWE pay for Rhea Ripley to get treatment at Bio Zellerator in Colombia because he believes it helped him. We just covered his comments. Unsubstantiated garbage at Ringside News. Unsubstantiated would mean Kevin Nash never said it. Now, this is the problem. All you fucking dirt sheets go, like, an Observer's the worst at this because they see what other people report and then they just lift it. So it'll be like, Amazing Red said he turned down TNA Hall of Fame. And then Observer will go like 3 days after the story comes out. Wrestling, very well-known wrestler reports they didn't, claims they turned down TNA Hall of Fame. And then it's like, well, we all know who you're just write Amazing Red turned down the Hall of Fame. Just make the fucking headline the headline. Okay? But instead they do this trickery. WWE urged to pay for. So you're like, how are they urged to do it? Then you use the picture of Rhea, not a picture of Kevin Nash. And again, you can't hate the player, you got to hate the game, but it's like we know what you're doing, but it is outrage culture. It outrages people to go for Rhea to just read the headline and go, first I've heard of this, and then they're like, well, buddy, it's just Kevin Nash said it. Right? And Nash did say it. It should just say Kevin Nash urges WWE to pay for whatever. You know? And then you avoid all of that, but then they get engagement. So they're like, what are you talking about, Phil? We got all the engagement for this shit. So again, hate the fucking algorithm, I guess. I don't know what to tell you, but Rhea Ripley calling it out. Speaking of being called out here, MVP calls out the dirt sheets, and Wrestle Purists again on @show marking out, whatever this is. This is MVP and Dwayne Swayze's show. Okay. And MVP says he would reject an AEW world title run, feels he cannot put on the level of matches he'd want. So MVP goes, if Tony Khan, I can't do an MVP. If Tony Khan said, hey, as a gift to you for your career, on the way out the door, I'd like to give you an AEW championship title run, I would say no, because I can't. At this point in my, I sound like Stuttering John. This isn't a very good MVP. He's got a bit of raspiness, but a little bit of that. I don't feel I could put on a high level of match I would want to be able to put on with the young talent that I'd be working with to do justice to the title. Physically, I can't go like that anymore, and I don't want to work that hard. I'm spoiled now, man. My friends beat people up, and I talk about it. Boom. So MVP goes, I knew a bunch of smooth brain flat scans would miss the entire point. Carry on with your mediocrity. So that's pretty funny. How I like seeing wrestle purists get destroyed by fucking AEW wrestlers that Elbu lies about. Right? It's a good time. So we move along here, and this happened yesterday, Time Cop. And this was deleted. So this was Ringside News again. And they posted, I don't even know what, I should screen grab it, but I don't give a fuck. And this is written by Subhojit Mukherjee. So there you go. And yeah, people are just trashing Ringside News here. And Nikki and Bree respond to, you need to delete this. You completely made this whole thing up. Wild how you guys just constantly write fake headlines for clicks. And that's what Ringside does. They're the National Enquirer. They are the TMZ news of like wrestling news. And I'm okay with them having that angle. And it's so par for the course that Steve Carrier flies off the fucking handles like he does, and that this is what his news source is, or his news site is, rather. Doing the salacious Jerry Springer version of whatever dirt sheet journalism is. And I forget what the story was. It had something to do with oh God, I wish I screen grabbed it, but it's a waste of goddamn time. You guys know it's par for the course with Ringside News, but it was just something completely made up, and Nikki and Brie Bella let that be known. And this is just going to happen more and more. It will continue to happen, and I will be here. I will continue to fucking be here to do these segments that I love so much, and they are called Dirt Sheet Fails.
Epic fail.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was PWT Friday Night Fill, Friday Night Fill-In, Friday Night Special. I had a blast of a time. I hope you guys had a good time here. Make sure you guys, if you're watching on replay, because I know a bunch of people will on their Saturday night, make sure you hype the video, right? And hopefully that still does something with with YouTube. I think they're gonna sunset that shit sooner or later here with some of the other things they got rolling out. I appreciate, but do it and hit the like button, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Make sure you guys come hang out for Memba Monday. Memberships are like 99 cents, I think, right? USD or something like that, Canadian, whatever. Or maybe it's $1.50 now. Again, YouTube changed a bunch of stuff. I had to agree that they're going to change the membership subscription, but we got a shitload of fucking members. Okay, so keep becoming members of the channel, and then Patreon. There's more exclusive content. But Memba Monday is going to go down, and we are going to check out. What are we checking out? Maybe Raw, right? What's going down on Raw again? I think, is Roman Reigns back? Whatever. We'll either that or we'll just like laugh at some botches and spots and shit normally as we do. So check that out and check out the Patreon. I appreciate you guys. Round of applause for the PWT universe. And I'll see you guys next time on Dragon Ball PWT. Be good, guys. Have a good weekend.
Tony Khan is the best guy. Ooh, yeah. Dave woke up on a Wednesday night, got the star ratings ready, feeling just right. Tone booked a ladder match, 12 flips in a row. Dave said, 6 stars, brother, let's go. The ratings dipped a little, but that's okay. There's always a reason by the end of the day. When the message boards crumble and wonder why, Dave just smiles and starts to type. Maybe you just don't understand the art. That's the line before he plays his part. Tony Khan is the best guy, never wrong and he'll tell you why. If Tone books it, it's certified. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tony Khan is the best guy. Dave's got another defense to write. Every match is a masterpiece tonight. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tone made another huge announcement again. The biggest announcement since 10 announcements ago then. Dave got excited before it was said. Already handing out flowers in his head. The forums laughed, the podcast cried, the tribal wars burned all night. But Dave was there with a brand new take, explaining every questionable mistake. The critics yell from far and wide, but Dave is always by Tone's side.
you think of the show?
Dave said, Tone, that was wrestling history.
That's exactly what I hoped you'd say, bro.
The fans keep arguing year after year, but Dave's got 5 more stars to give right here. Tony Khan is the best guy. The stars keep climbing to the sky. 7 stars, Dave might just try. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tony Khan is the best guy. Tone can do no wrong tonight. Dave's already got the headline tied. Tony Khan is the best guy.
Tone booked the match. Dave loved the match. Tone booked the show.